And we're back.
They're going.
Welcome back.
It's a magic trick.
Yeah, I know sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Hopefully, guys, everybody is ready and jam-packed. Like, literally jam-packed.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I think you guys are going to enjoy this week's episode. Like we told you guys before, we were preparing for to drop the mother load of all the, we've been talking about, at least for the last 3 weeks, about the integration of PSYOPs, and then the following week about behavior engineering, structural control. And now this week, we end off with biopolitical convergence, or HOS, the human operating system. And so I had 50 layers, but I couldn't make it through it all. I had 4 acts to go through, but I got to section 2, and I kind of summed it up in the end. But I don't know, maybe we'll go through the other layers in different episodes. But I basically take you for 300 years, from 1705, where it starts, which I coined the plantation algorithm, where they start integrating the functions of ownership, leading you down to all the way to where we are today, to show you that what you see today are just products. It's the fruit of what have already been established since the beginning. And so don't think that what you see today, like I show you guys also, 15-minute cities isn't a new thing. They've been testing 15-minute cities since 1830. So I think you guys will enjoy it, this week's episode, HOS, Human Operating System, the Biopolitical Convergence. But, and also a colleague, he has a snippet into something that I don't know how many other people are talking about, but he has some interesting information about the Epstein Island and the Island Boys 2.0. I think you guys will enjoy that as well, but yeah.
It's all for the cause.
It can be. Or it could be something else. Depends how deep you go into this matrix.
I do nothing of my own accord.
That's good. You do everything based upon what the rabbits tell you.
I'm a slave to the state.
Yeah. State cities, freedom cities.
Mm-hmm. And they work through me.
Yeah.
In them, I live and move and have my being.
Like I say on this episode, you know how they do totalitarianism, where they force you by the gun. Mm-hmm. But then I talked about, I think in last episode, the structural control. It's an inverse totalitarianism now. They use the constructs of your free will to make you believe you have choice, but you've been programmed and curated so that you have to do something, but you believe that it's free. So it's an inverse totalitarianism. And this week we talk about an inverse rationing system. Like Indian reservations is like a primitive function of 15-minute cities. But what about an inverse system of rationing, where state cities or freedom cities are actually where all the money is, or where all the access is, but the rest of the whole entire United States is actually one big reservation. So it's an inverse rationing. Instead of having an isolated zone which is segregated and is rationed, the rest of the United States is rationed except for these technocratic smart cities. Yeah.
And now here we are today.
Yes, we are. We are here today.
Shooting live.
Live into the sky. Wow, I forgot. Tom, the policeman, he's still up there on the sky.
Yeah. The Japs.
Yeah.
Iron Man is here. He says, yo, top of the toilet tank. The Elder says, welcome to part 2 of the sleep-deprived edition of the Matrix Network. I think all the toilets are frozen over with ice.
Yeah, we actually talk about your toilets are going to be your narc also.
Mm. Then he said, no, sleep till Philly. Then King James says, got the notification finally. I'm here.
Mm.
And then David Zerm said, don't look over the edge of the toilet. You will see the truth.
Wow, that's actually deep.
Yeah,
it's almost like, when your toilet overflows, it's like a waterfall.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a fountain that gushes forward.
It's a fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Oh. Be careful of the elixir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it might not actually give you what Indiana Jones was looking for.
The chalice.
Yeah. That can give you that
challenge.
Yeah. It is a challenge. And, I don't know why. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it. Have you guys been noticing? I don't know. Maybe this is going to expose too much. I don't know why I'm getting all these Dave Hot Chicken Reaper challenges all over my feed. Like, there's normal things that show up, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, guys, I'm out here doing a Dave's Hot Reaper challenge.
Didn't we do that already?
Yeah, we
did the Dave's Hot one, right?
No, we did the Reaper.
Yeah, the Dave's Hot Chicken
Reaper
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we ate 2 of them, I think.
Yeah, we ate 2 tenders each.
Yeah, I had another one just a couple weeks ago. I just did it on my own free will.
The Reaper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah, it hurt me, but like in the end, more than in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I guess it's making a comeback because it was viral, probably a year ago. And I don't know, some reason now is it all over my feed. I don't know, maybe that's exposing too much.
What about the 1 chip challenge?
I don't know. Hey, Tommy Goy, are you saying you want to chime in?
Of course he does.
Let me post it.
Let him cook now. I said, let him cook.
Whoa. Yeah, I like Dave's Hot Chicken. I think it's actually good. I don't know about the Reaper. I mean, I don't want that. But their hot and extra hot's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That Reaper, man. If you don't breathe right, it's going to get you. Like, they put so much of that capsaicin powder or whatever extract. I mean, you got to breathe right. All right, let me see if I can post this in. So, we got Tommy Goy going to chime on in.
Real Addicts Fish says, here we go. Time to throw them nubs in the air.
And
yeah, everybody get your nubs up.
And wave them like you just don't care.
Yep.
It's just about there, Mr. Tommy Goy. Give me a second.
Iron Man says, what the hell is going on over there? We don't know what you're talking about.
Are you aware? Do you know something, Mr. Iron Man? I think he's actually got access onto the inner valves.
He might. A good pipe fitter. David Zerm said, get plunged into the realm of true reality, into the soot of the simulation of the steak matrix. Make sure to cut across the grain of steak.
Yes.
Sounds like a Applebee's commercial.
Do it now. Do it proud. Do it loud.
Real Addict says, everyone throw them nubs up. Here they are. Here they are. Yeah. All right. So
all right. Posted it.
If you guys have your nubs up, keep them up, okay? We want to count them.
If you're handicapped.
Yeah.
Now, if you have your prosthetics, that's even better.
Oh, yeah.
I remember watching that video clip of that girl that was on that TV show, that live morning show where she took her prosthetic off and she can just control it with her mind. It was just walking across the table.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could probably have like 3 of those, and they could do all your dirty work. Like, they could do your laundry, they could do your dishes. You could be sitting on the couch watching your favorite sitcom, and your hands would be over there doing the dishes.
Yeah, I mean, people don't think that mind control is real. Like, when you're talking about MK Ultra, we're talking about literally mind control.
Well, imagine if you were connected like that to a robot. You could sit on the couch, and that robot can sweep your floor. It can do your laundry. It could do it all. It could go pick up your kids from school. It might even be able to throw a football or 2 with your kids. Like, little Jimmy over there doesn't have to worry about Daddy not being over there with him. Daddy could be working his computer in his room, his office, his own privacy. And then that robot could be controlled by his mind to go play ball.
You know,
with
it's
his son.
interesting you saying that. I'm only thinking about the level of the hand. But, you know, if you put that on a robot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, that takes it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, because then you're going to have thought police at that point, because you could make that robot hurt somebody. And this is why you have to take every thought captive.
Wow.
Because if you don't, the government will. The government's going to take your thoughts captive here soon.
Well, that's just interesting, though, man. I never thought about it. You could put it on a robot. Then you can say that I'm always with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even low, even to the end of the age.
Yeah, it's like literally I'm always with you. You can't see me, but you can feel me. You feel me?
Yeah. Feel me?
Oh, wow.
Feel me? Just woke up 10 seconds ago, man.
Oh, man, I was going to show that. Maybe I'll do it next week. So somebody got those two people together, the Two Foods, Tismala, the Two Foods guy, and then You Feel Me guy. Somebody must have paid because they had a live. They said, all right, we got Two Foods and we got You Feel Me. And now we're going to have a competition on who can eat the most hamburgers. And they were just sitting there doing it. Man, I got to show that next week on the clip.
Are you show right now?
No.
We got to spoil it.
Yeah, no, it's got to be a good one.
You're going to leave it for dessert.
Yeah, but man, that's
God bless.
Yeah.
Thank you for this delicious, wonderful. And I've been doing that every time I'm getting ready to eat now. You know, it's addictive. It's infectious.
What, saying You Feel Me?
Well, that and, trying to figure out which one you're going to eat first. Like you have your hamburger in one hand and your fry in another hand. And you're like trying to figure out which one you're going to eat. So you're like, and you have to pick one. And sometimes the guy just completely jukes all of us. He doesn't go for this burger or the fry. He actually goes and takes a drink of the drink. Like, you can tell he didn't even know he was going to do that.
Well, regardless, I think I'm going to show that next week. I think that's a good one.
God bless.
Mm-hmm. What happened to Tommy Goy?
That's my beanie look.
I thought he was going to chime in.
It was uneven. Here we go. That's better.
We still ain't seen you here in the conversational group, Tommy Goy.
He's still over there in that goy slop.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him to get out of there.
I'm just trying to send out these notifications. Just give me a second here.
Iron Man says, who shot deer this year?
Wow, that reminds me. Who's been shot with ghost DNA?
Yeah, but nobody knows what that is yet.
No, it just reminds me.
And then Iron Man says, Epcot was a 15-minute city. Epcot, I think that's in Disney World.
Yeah, shout out to Club 33. You know, you always, you never really think about it, but what if all these child theme parks and everything else is really just one of those? And, I can't say state fairs and all that because those are just probably people trying to make money. But the bigger ones like Six Flags or, Disney or those kind of things like those.
Silver Dollar.
Those curated children theme parks. How many of those are really just a breathing ground for things like Epstein? That'd be the perfect place.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's conspiracy theories that kids go missing, like they go on a ride, and those dark, like that ride, It's a Small World After All. So the conspiracy theories are like, some employee comes out of the door in the dark room, and they take the kid and go back into that door, and you never see that kid again.
Yeah, it's kind of like that movie, the one with the automatons or the animatrons.
Bicentennial Man.
Yeah, truth shines through you.
iRobot.
Yeah. and
Or Pinocchio.
Wally Wee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Smash Moosh.
Yeah.
But
all E.
Yeah. We all eat good.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah. Every day we eat good. Today we got 2 foods.
God bless.
Yeah.
Just woke up 15 seconds ago, man.
But, they could literally take those children and then, take their, again, they don't know, but, like that Microsoft patent, start utilizing all their data, utilizing everything, creating these chatbots, and then integrating those chatbots into what do you call those things? The Chuck E. Cheese things, traumatrons.
Calvinists?
No, what is those things?
Yeah, I think that's what they're. No, oh yeah, now.
Yeah, see, I can't. Whatever those like Chuck E. Cheese robots. Traumatrons, Optimus Primes out there. But anyways, they could connect all that and then have the children live through those like Chuck E. Cheese robots. You're not gonna remember it.
Yeah, now wow, that
animatrons.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Is that right?
Animatronics.
Okay, well, you guys know.
Animatronics.
Yeah, everybody knows what we're saying. But you connect those dead communicable chatbots, that Microsoft patent that we're going to show this week, episode 191, and then you connect it to that, and then and that's why children can feel comfortable, because it literally is a child. It's a child's mind. It's a child's inferences, proclivities, and then it is very familiar with the children. The children like it, and then they can, like in that video, they can lure the children.
Yeah. Well, that movie is made off of a lot of theories.
Animatron. Is that what we said? I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, animatronics.
Yeah.
Animatron, yeah.
Something's going on out there in the wilderness.
Yeah, Tommy Boy said, "Keep me there. I'm going to call in to piss off Iron Man."
Whoa.
And then Iron Man said, "I think I broke my pee-pee off thinking it was an icicle." Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that sucks.
I was going to comment, but I don't really know if it's contextual.
Depends.
Do you like eating icicles?
Not if they're like that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's contextual. It just reminded me. What's really scary is I have a big garage, and sometimes when it gets really cold, they are huge. Like, I'm talking like 3-4 foot, like almost like a missile.
Yeah, they're like 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunches.
And I have to open the door, but it feels like I'm playing Russian roulette, because I have a fingerprint sensor. No. But I have to put some engagement onto it, and then when I open the door, so it's always like, is it going to hit me? Is it not? As soon as I close the door, of course, they fall.
That's why you have to look up.
Well, yeah, you got no choice. It's going to go straight through my eye.
Yeah. It's straight Final Destination stuff. You're going to look up and just going to go right in. But you're not going to remember anything.
Yeah, but my dogs like it. They'll always eat the ice.
Their skin's a lot more tougher than ours.
Well, they just eat the overdraft.
Yeah, they can chew on it for a while.
Yeah, they like that. They like ice. And I'm not talking about ice. I'm talking about real ice, not ice. Not the ice maker ice, baby.
That's another foreshadow.
Yeah. But isn't he a real estate agent now?
Probably.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name?
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that guy. I was going to say, I know it had to do with ice.
He's the white ice.
Yeah, and then you had chocolate ice.
Yeah. Chocolate rain. Shout out to Colorado.
Yeah.
Prince and the Purple Rain.
Texas had the Purple Rain too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they sure did.
All these songs are they're prophetic.
Yeah, you think it's entertainment, but it's actually a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're actually listening to it,
Yeah.
singing along with this documentary song, just like Bob Dylan. He's like, and it breaks like a little girl, and he was just talking about Epstein stuff.
Oh, of course.
He probably sang that from Epstein's Island.
Yeah, he was like a foreshadow. I think you showed one day that Andrew Jackson is actually Epstein's great cloned father.
Yeah, it looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I keep it Ben Franklin.
Yeah. I don't know
I ain't
anybody.
down with Andrew Jackson.
I don't know who looks like Benjamin Franklin.
All things good.
Got to keep it 100.
Yeah.
That's it.
All I really know is 100.
Spend those hundos.
Yeah, all I really know is 100.
Feels like we're talking in a loop.
Well, Iron Man says Dave's hot raccoon.
And
then he said 1 nut challenge.
That sounds like a very proprietary challenge.
Yeah,
like only a certain group of people can do that.
Yeah, it's the Chonchos who had too many of those hot chips.
And we talk about Buck and Bell this week too, the Supreme Court case, where it was the beginning of eugenics, where they could castrate you because they think you are an imbecile. That's their words.
Again, as I mentioned on the video too, which you guys will see, I don't really know why they have to. Nobody's making babies anymore anyway. And
that was back in 1924.
Yeah. Now we have things like Roe v. Wade and all kinds of other stuff.
But everything is, like anything, everything has to get acclimated. You have to get used to ideas. And then once you get used to it and it becomes normality, then you can start making advancements. And of course, advancements are more efficient. They're more better. It works faster. And everybody's already gotten used to the idea because you've been hearing it since the 20s. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, this seems better than that. I don't have to physically castrate you now.
Yeah. Just do it through the Skittles.
Yeah, but, past the Supreme Court. And that law's still in the books. So it's like everybody was cool with it. Nobody was putting up an uproar. Everybody's like, you know what? Get rid of those imbeciles. Just castrate them. And then, again, that's their words. Well, but yeah, today we have the virtual versions of castration, right? We don't need to physically castrate you. We can do it digitally. Mm-hmm. Reduce that testosterone. Reduce your proclivities for external engagement. We can have all you satisfied through digital or virtual relationships with people marrying AI chatbots and people marrying dolls on top of wedding cakes and comic book characters and whatever else. We can reduce the physical castration issues because we have perfected that digital or virtual castration.
I remember this one video that I showed you a while back. This guy was making out with this doll he had, this female doll he's like obsessed with. And he's like, and then he has his birthday cake. And he's like, happy birthday. And he actually sings happy birthday to his girlfriend doll.
Yeah.
And it's a toy, by the way. It's not a blow-up doll. It's actually like an action figure doll. And he's like, I got you something. He's recording his romantic date. It looks like a candlelight date. And actually it is. And it's dark in his room. You can tell this is his bedroom because he's probably still living with his parents. And he's like, I got you something. And all of a sudden he like throws this condom on the table. I was like, wow, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I mean, it's good he's using protection, contraceptives. So, yeah, he's not making babies.
Well, he's just protecting himself from those, we call those microplastics.
Yeah, the microplastics.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, because I don't know how you're going to procreate with someone with another kind.
That's that ghost DNA.
Yeah, like, everybody has their own kinds.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when everybody has an identity crisis, what are you going to do? What's a kind anyway at that point? Now you're just talking about being kind.
Well, when all the animals went onto Noah's Ark.
Please. Chick is going off the hinges.
There's 2 of every kind. You didn't see, some hippopotamus walking with this plastic hippopotamus. It would never work between the 2. But then you have today, you have this guy, and he's too afraid to procreate. And I get it. I'd be scared too. Like, you might cut yourself on accident because it might be some sharp plastic.
Well, it gets difficult when there's this there's this illusion of safety when you can control both sides of a narrative. That's why the government likes that.
Yeah.
I can control what you're thinking at the same time tell you what you need to be thinking. But when you have to deal with a variable, like, I don't know if this person's going to react right, or I don't know if I'm acting right. Yeah, that's a lot of anxiety. So people's like, you know what, forget all that. We'll deal with microplastics.
Yeah, can you imagine if maybe that doll wasn't satisfied, so she ends up breaking up with him, and she goes and lives her own life and gets with some other guy, and he has to actually think on this.
Yeah, he has to create this narrative.
Yeah,
like, he might as well just write a novel.
Yeah, he's actually living one.
Yeah, but in his mind, it's legit.
Yeah, in a lot of these female novels too, they say stuff like that too. Again, I don't know from personal experience. As a friend of a friend told me about that. Yep. But they'll say stuff like, "Wow, he was," the girl in the woman's perspective. They're like, "Wow, he was so big, I couldn't even wrap both my hands around it," and that's actually the case for this doll. So it's actually like he's living.
Rest in peace to my grandma. She got shot with a bazooka.
Oh, yeah.
Kablam. Kabloom.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
That Toby Maguire. Yeah. Stay safe out there, kids.
Yeah. Make sure your grandma don't get hit with a bazooka.
Yeah. It's dangerous. It's a sick
That's
world.
what happens when you play with, that's why they tell you, got to be careful. Stop using plastics for cooking and heating your food, because those microplastics, you're going to get so embedded. They're going to get so connected. I think they say it passes the blood-brain barrier, so it's in, and so, maybe plastics are like a, what they call those,
population control devices.
No.
Cancer techniques.
What are mushrooms? Technical name.
LSD.
Cordyceps, I believe. Anyways, they're an intelligent species. They're like a host. And so maybe these plastics are like these cordyceps, and they're getting into your brain, convincing you to procreate with other microplastics and stuff. So
your brain is actually becoming plastic.
And you're just slowly going to wake up one day, and you're just going to be. And think about the Matrix effect. You've been playing with this plastic. You've been consuming everything plastic. Now slowly you become the doll, and somebody starts playing with you, and it's like the Russian doll thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Man, that should be like a horror flick.
Yeah, and then they throw you away like a bottle on the side of the road.
Well, and they just send you to the recycling plant, where then you just get recycled into somebody else's, but you keep your consciousness.
Wow, that'd be cool, too.
Yeah.
You're basically just like an empty vessel.
And it goes on forever.
Yeah.
Because they just keep melting plastic.
That sounds familiar to that egg theory.
What's that? Talk about the one in the microwave?
Where basically you actually have lived, it's almost like reincarnation.
Oh, no.
But not because you are actually every single person on this whole planet. So you actually lived every single person's life.
No, like the universal consciousness.
Kind of, but it's not all at the same time. It's you are living this person, then you die, and then you come back to life as this person, and you're going to do this, I don't know how many billions of times until you've lived every single person's lives. The people that explain all this, they talk about it as if it's this, genius idea, this genius concept, but they don't ever talk about the fact that means you're going to have to die a billion different ways. Every single way that someone was tortured, you're going to go through that.
The tough part about that, the reason why I think death has so much
stigma.
Well, it's just so deeply embedded in your mind is because of the unknown effect. But if you die, let's say the first couple of times, of course, this is always going to be scary. But once that unknown thing goes away, someone's going to be like Groundhog Day. You're like, oh, yeah, I know I'm going to suffer and all that. Nobody wants to go through that part. But I'm just going to wake up again. So that initial unfearness that makes death so something that we all fight, that self-preservation, it's going to go away after about the 10th, 15th, 20th time. Like, oh, yeah. And, of course.
Well, you don't have any recollection of your previous life. You start from scratch every time.
Well, then it's irrelevant. Then I'd be like, how do you know this is going on if you can't be aware that this thing is going on?
Because when you die, you get to, your spirit person or whatever it is gets to talk to this.
But if you can't remember that
spirit
conversation when you come back, then how does anybody even know this is real?
That's
self-contradictory.
I've asked that question 1,000 times. You can't get anywhere with those people, but that's cool. I just want to remind everybody who believes in that egg theory. They call it the egg theory. And because it's all this giant egg, you're doing all this inside this egg until you live every single person's life. Then you level up the egg breaks and you become something greater. And one of those something greaters is actually explaining this all to you after you die. And every time you die, you get explained this all over again, and then you go back, and then you die again, and then they just explain it to you again. Honestly, there's a lot of questions I have. Like, so the purpose? What's the purpose? And they say the purpose behind all this is that you're supposed to achieve this ultimate consciousness.
Yeah, but who set that purpose?
I know, and that's the bigger question. It's like, who cares? What if you don't want that?
I mean,
well, you're going to get it anyway.
If they make it like a fundamental principle, like a fundamental awareness, like assume that consciousness is an emergent property, and consciousness itself is embedded into like fundamental particles. So awareness is integrated into all matter and its structure. Then what you're doing is just experiencing experience. Like every time you come back, it's not like you're experiencing. You couldn't say it's a new thing because people have experienced the same thing. It's just different ways, different modes, but they're experiencing the same thing, fundamentally the same thing. The pain, the emotions, these things are fundamental. They're just appearing in different ways. But you can't say there's going to be an ultimate end to it because every human experiences the same exact thing in every life. It's just an appearance in modality, just a different way. So there's nothing actually really new. So, I mean, you can make the argument it's just a fundamental principle of consciousness, but you can't say there's going to be an end goal because you would have an agenda means there has to be a mind behind the agenda.
Yeah, one person said you have to so one of the reasons is because how you treat somebody else, you have to remember, you're treating yourself. So you're actually, whatever you do to that person, you're doing to them. And at one point in your life, you did that to you. In another life, you actually hurt you when someone hurts you.
Yeah, but then we deal with identity quandaries. Like, who is you?
I know. Like I said, that's even more deeper. I'm thinking of the practicalities. Like, if somebody wants to hold this belief, again, let's talk about how many different ways you're going to die. Just go read a book on what they used to do. The most heinous tortures committed to man. You're going to live through every single one of those. Yeah. And you're gonna be tortured next to somebody who's being tortured. And you're going to have to you actually know, I'm going to be that guy too next. You're actually
at some point along the line.
Yeah, at some point along the line. Maybe not next, but you're going to be tortured. And not only that.
Well, you can't. You said they can't know that.
Yeah, I know. But you know now. Like, let's say you know about this egg theory now. Yeah. So now you know. It's like, just stay away from all these torture things. Don't think about that because that's going to be real depressing. It's like, yeah, one day I'm going to have to do all this. And
knowledge itself breaks the loop. You can't hide the knowledge and say you have the knowledge.
Well, let's go one step deeper, too.
That's too much.
You are going to be the one. You are going to be Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, you're going to be the one hurting children. You're going to be Hitler. You're going to be all these mass criminals, people that are doing things, not just because you're trying to get money for yourself, but you actually genuinely want to hurt other people.
At least the archetypes of such things.
Yeah. And you're going to be completely unaware of this whole egg theory thing. You're going to be unaware of it your whole life. And that's okay because you were just at an infant state at that point. So fine. But still, you're still going to be doing it.
It's just a tough thing for me to understand what would be you can't have an end goal without a structure. Like anything that has a purpose, like there's a reason Like if you say things are random, like a fundamental particle or something, it's just awareness in general. There's no real reason. It's just awareness. You're just aware of things. You're experiencing stuff. But that doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't lead you anywhere. There's no destination. It's just awareness. But once you add like a direction, a map, a purpose, an agenda, an end goal, well, that leads to a higher architect. It's like something had to set this in motion. And you can't say it's you because you can't know it's you.
According to this egg theory, you're not the one, but they can't explain it to you.
Yeah, who's
right
the
now.
one? Neo?
We don't know. We can't obtain that kind of information because we haven't lived all these lives to level up to break out the egg yet. So we're still in or I guess I'm talking to myself right now.
Right.
I'm host and colleague at the same time. It's just different time frames. So once I live through all of these different human beings on this earth, then I'm going to accomplish breaking that egg and it leveling up to that level of deity that was talking to me and explaining all this stuff. And there's a whole nother system. There's a whole nother system for that. There's a bunch of eggs within this other egg. So our comprehension level right now is down here.
Mm.
And if one of those upper spirits try to explain to us the real reason and purpose behind all these things, who the real God or goddess is.
This sounds like a quasi.
We wouldn't be able to obtain it.
It sounds like that quasi-Gnosticism.
Yeah, I know. And you know what's funny? You know how you know you're being sold snake oil?
Mm.
Is that, again, everybody that's talking about this egg theory stuff, they're selling, the selling point is, so that means you're going to be the great Dalai Lama, you're going to be Jesus, you're going to be the great Buddha himself one day, or maybe you already were. You were Jesus, you were Buddha, you were Muhammad, you were all these great leaders and everything. That's the selling point. But again, they just gloss over the fact that, that means you're going to die like Jesus. You're going to die like all these people. You're going to die like everybody. And all of that, you're also going to be Epstein. You're going to be who's that guy? The guy that everybody likes, that serial killer.
P. Diddy?
Yeah, you're going to be P. Diddy. You're going to be all of these people, the most heinous people you can think of. And that far away is like, so you're going to be Jesus one day. That's cool. You're going to be Buddha one day. And then you're going to be 8 billion other disgusting people. It's like, is that really an honest payout for adopting this worldview? That doesn't sound like a really good deal. It's like, so you get to be some cool people, a very small handful of cool people that you're looking up to. And you're also going to be the 8 billion other people that are disgusting and did horrible things to each other. I don't know. I don't know why nobody talks about that. And then on top of that, you're going to die horrible deaths. Every single time. Every single human being died. You're going to die every single time.
Well,
every single way.
I guess for those people, it might be like gambling. You have the chance, it's like that 1 in a billion. You have the chance that you might act right, do good, and you might end up transcending, getting out of the egg. I guess that's.
You can't.
That you said that at some point when you finally hit nirvana or whatever, your enlightenment, you get out of the egg and you go to the next egg.
Yeah, but you have to live through every person's life, which, it sounds very deterministic.
Well, if you have to live through every person's life, what are you living through in the next egg? You already lived through all the lives.
In the next egg, I don't know. We can't comprehend it.
Well, there's nothing to live through. You've already lived through all the lives. You don't want to live through them
that's
again.
all in this egg.
Right.
But there's a bunch of these eggs within this bigger egg.
So are they saying there's like more, like you're going to live through aliens or something?
I don't know. I haven't read any books on this. I'm just going off of what online social media people have explained in their attempts to explain this egg theory. So you can't take my words to the bank.
Yeah.
But if what the representatives, because these people legitimately believe this stuff, you can tell. And then they're trying to sell it to other people to get other people who think about this stuff, like me, to buy into it. I'm like, okay, well, why aren't you telling me all of it? Like, you're selling me this lemon. You're not telling me all the other stuff that comes with it. Anyway, they don't have answers. And again, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I learned at a young age, if people don't have answers, then there's something going on. Because that's not real.
Well, it sounds like some kind of it's like a virus. At some point it spreads, and then it has a decay rate. And the faster it dies, the higher the lethality, the faster it dies off. But it has a very high death rate. So there has to be this balance between its decay, its death rate, and all of it. And maybe that's just why it's popular. It's like there's actually some kind of illusionary idea that you still get to live after you die, but it's not confined by some kind of isolated religious group or some dogma. But the only payoff is you get out of this world, but the cost is that you have to live 1 billion lives. But at least you get to live 1 billion lives.
That's a lot more than that.
Yeah, whatever.
There's 8 billion right now, just today alive. Yeah. That's not counting all the billions and billions of people that have been alive throughout the entire human species. Yeah, and again, it's very deterministic because, unlike the typical Buddhist reincarnation, I'm going to be put into a future person.
Here's the logical fallacy. It doesn't work. If I have to live through somebody else's life, that means the life that I'm living never existed. That means it ends after the first person dies. That's a fallacy. See, you can't have 100 billion different lives if everybody is living the previous life, because that means you're living just somebody else's life. That means the life that you're living today can't be considered a new life because you're just reliving a life that was already here, which stops the train. You have to create a new life experience so somebody else could live that life. But if you're just living somebody else's life, this isn't a new life. This is just a previous existing life. But then that previous existing life is actually just living another pre-existing life, which it should have ended after the second person. There's no way you can continue. There's no such thing as 1 billion different lives if everybody's just living somebody's previous life. That means you're just repeating the loop. There's no new life.
That's the idea. There's no new life. You're just
there shouldn't even be a Hitler. There shouldn't be nothing.
Yeah, you're confusing the Buddhist concept with this egg theory.
No, I'm saying if you have to live through every human who lived, every human then also has to do that. But every human can't live through every human.
Those are different eggs, all within this big egg. Yes, every single.
So we're all sharing eggs?
No, every single human has their own world and universe that they're living through. So basically, you are the real player in this big matrix.
But then whose life am I mimicking?
You're not mimicking anybody's.
You're saying I have to go into everybody's life. Like I have to live through all the billions of people who lived.
Yeah, your soul does, or your consciousness
but it's
goes
like,
into each person. As soon as you die, you're conscious in this life right now. But when you die, you're going to be conscious in my life.
So maybe you're talking about just entering the dimension of somebody else's virtual reality.
Sure.
Because if I enter a person and the person itself is the thing I have to copy, not the dimensional reality. Because I guess, there's 2 layers to that. If it's dimensional reality, there's 1 billion people on Earth in any dimensional reality. And so it's not limited to a person's experience. It's just that timeline. I guess you could say that. I'm in this timeline, not in a person. Because if you pick a person, that stops at the second person. But if you say it's a timeline, it could be any person within that timeline. It doesn't have to be a specific person, just a timeline. Yeah, it would end if it's physical people, because a person, that means every person's repeating the same thing from the first person. But if it's a timeline, it could be any person within that year, day.
Yeah, but
date.
You're going to wake up in Ted Bundy's, not Ted B's, Ted Bundy's body. You're going to wake up in his, baby body. And you're going to have all this memory erased. You're not going to know any of this stuff. You're not going to know the egg theory. You're not going to know anything. So you're going to do exactly what Ted Bundy did, because you're going to grow up in his environment that he grew up in. You're going to make all the same good and bad choices that he made. You're going to do all that stuff as Ted Bundy.
Well, if you're going to do the exact same thing, what's the point I don't get what's the point. If you're just doing the same thing, you don't even have a choice to make a different choice.
This is where it's similar to Buddhism. It's this enlightenment, this nirvana. You're gaining experience.
Yeah, but the whole point is that with that, you should be learning from your previous life, so in your future life, you make better choices, not that you're just going to actually do verbatim the exact same thing.
No, it's not for better choices. As far as what they've explained to me online, it's not so much for better choices so you could be a better person. It's just so you can learn more. You can get more perspective, gain new experience and all that.
Well, I want him to answer. What about self-spreading vaccines? How does that play into the egg theory? Based policy on evidence. You ever thought about self-spreading vaccines?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's
I
like
think the elites have even talked about it.
oh, I know this is an article from a couple of years ago.
Like you could put a cure into a mosquito.
Well, no, yeah, I know. Bill Gates talked about that. I was going to say, that's a normal thing over in Florida. That's happening right now every day. It's been going on for a long time. Like right here, it's called the Oxtec Mosquito Project in Florida. And following the established decade-long relationship, the Florida Key Mosquito Control Oxtec Mosquito Project began in April 2021, releasing the evaluating and effectiveness of Oxtex-friendly algades mosquitoes. So of course, they've been putting insecticides in certain mosquitoes so that it would kill other mosquitoes. So they already know how to do, viral transmission of injectable fluids, putting them in mosquitoes. So this isn't just Bill Gates. This is going on right now in the Florida Keys. And so, of course, this is to help mitigate mosquitoes. But you think that's all they limit it to? Just, we're just trying to eradicate mosquitoes. Oh, we want you to have microplastics. Why don't we just inject you full of microplastics? But the self-spreading vaccines, that's always interesting because it's like, so we'll give you the vaccine. And as soon as you hang around other people, when you cough, you'll just give them the vaccine. They're self-spreading vaccines. And it's fine. It's airborne.
Well, you wouldn't cough if you have the vaccine. You wouldn't be sick anymore. So why would you cough?
No, it's embedded into your DNA. So as soon as you cough, you're going to be spreading that because it's airborne. Like anytime, just coughing or anything. Or you share a soda or you share a drink, you share anything. It's now transmission through fluids, through airborne, anything.
But will the vaccine actually be in your cough? And if so, how much of it will be in your cough?
Well, just like a virus, there can be airborne, there can be transmissional, fluid transmissional. The whole point is that this article was talking about how they devise these self-spreading vaccines. If people don't want to take them, they can just do it artificially by creating self-spreading vaccines, and then they just force you to have it.
I mean, I guess if that could work, because
that's what that article was talking about.
The reason you sneeze, the reason you cough, it's your body's knee-jerk reaction to get rid of the virus. It's trying to,
I mean, just like let's say you got hair in your throat and you cough. I mean, people.
You're trying to get out a foreign material. That's what I'm saying. The body is trying to get rid of the virus.
The idea isn't that it's a virus; it's the vaccine.
I know that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So if why would your body try to get rid of the vaccine?
Well, it's not doing it on purpose. It's just by default. Like if you share a soda, you share a drink, you share food. It's embedded in your DNA.
Yeah, now that I could see. Yeah, you'd have to be real close to people.
Yeah, like your family.
Sharing stuff.
Your family, your children, your wife, whoever. And this is communal. And then eventually it spreads. And that's a self-spreading vaccine. They don't have to get you to get injected.
I mean, if that's the case, you could just put it in a Lysol can and spray it.
That's right. Or put it in mosquitoes or anything else. But the idea is that you don't have to wait for a mosquito to bite you. As soon as one person gets injected, then they just become a propagator because now it's self-spreading.
Yeah, like I'm surprised Lysol didn't get sued because it says it could kill coronavirus. Yeah. And it doesn't really specify which one. So that's where they could get the lawsuit. I guess you could spray it in your mouth. That's actually, you could have just sprayed anything and everything. You spray the air, and now all of a sudden you have this vaccine. It's going to kill the coronavirus in your lungs. Now, it's false advertising if it doesn't tell you which coronavirus. It's like, we'll sell you a car, but we're not going to tell you which one. But you're paying for the full price of like a Lamborghini, but we're not telling you that we're going to give you a Pinto. And that's what they're doing. So I'm surprised Lysol didn't get sued for that. And if maybe they still can. I don't know.
It's controversial.
I'm hopeful.
Well, DARPA did the same thing. They had this program called Insect Allies, where they were devising this whole entire. Put this on the screen. DARPA had this project called Insect Allies, while the Pentagon plans to transmit plant viruses with gene-edited insects to increase climate resistance in stirring such controversy. So there was this whole project for DARPA to utilize this so that they could try to eliminate, plant blight or plant chemical issues or climate issues. But that's a robotic insect, and you can see right here. There's a syringe right here, and so the idea that, and this is old. This was in 2016 when it started, but that article is in 2024.
But they probably lost the technology in a house.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right now it shows that we have 11 people online. What do you see on my screen live?
Mine says 15.
Yeah, I don't believe these numbers. Just a second ago it showed 0.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
People are actually talking while it says there's 0 people watching.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. But yeah, that's when I would say to these egg people, it's like, what? Who is so? If I jump into this timeline and all this craziness, who are all these people creating all these crazy things? It ain't me. Let's just say I'm just this guy doing a podcast. I'm living in this egg. But in this reality, there's all these people creating all this crazy stuff. Are these all other people's eggs?
No, those are all you.
I'm the crazy person creating everything.
Yep. In this world, yes.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
But somebody greater, some greater spirit created this whole world, your whole reality and all this stuff. And we can't comprehend who that was or what it was or how they did it or anything because we're still inside the egg.
See, that's next level.
I know. And we're not at that level yet.
No, I'm saying that's the next level incompetence.
Yeah. Well, that's where we're at. We're one incompetence level down.
Yeah.
Once you level up, though, then you can comprehend. But then there's going to be a greater level than that. I don't know how much it goes. Nobody really knows. And the people proposing this idea don't claim to know. They're just saying, again, the two major selling points is, one, you are all those good people in history, all those wisest people in history. That's you, just in different time eras. And then the second thing is, the second selling point is, treat others how you want to be treated because you're treating yourself that way. You're going to wake up one day in that reality. So treat yourself better. What they don't tell you is what we've been talking about. This seems seemingly logical contradiction, as if you have this free will choice to act any different, but you don't. Because if you truly are going to be the great Buddha, then that means everything is set in stone. Like if you were the Buddha and you chose not to do all the stuff that he did, you chose not to give up everything, you chose not to fast for, I can't remember how many weeks he fasted, you choose not to do all that, then you cease to be Buddha. So you just destroyed the whole timeline. And therefore you just ruined the entire existence. Buddha was no longer this great person anymore. Jesus was no longer this great person anymore if he decided, you know what, maybe I'll get with Mary Magdalene or something. Like if you make a different choice than was already predestined, then yeah, so it's very deterministic. It has to be to work. It has to be. Otherwise, again, that's the selling point is you could be Jesus, you could be Buddha, you could be the great Dalai Lama, you could be the Pope, you could be Ronald Reagan, you could be Bill Nye, the science guy, not Clinton. You could be all these great people. You could be Martin Luther King. Isn't that going to be cool? Like you could actually have a dream one day. And again, you need to treat other people how you want to be treated because you actually are treating yourself that way. That's you, just in a different timeline. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I just want to call to everybody's mind, too, that, you're also going to have to die all those millions and billions of deaths, too. So, and exactly how they died. And you're also going to be the Epstein and everybody else that we kind of overlook.
Oh, I think we have somebody chimed in.
Sweet. Send them in.
You guys here?
Red Rover.
Yep, I can hear you. 1 second, let me post you in.
Red Rover.
I'll post you right onto the Chinese policeman. Nice.
Jeremy Henneberry said, found a dead squirrel on the road the other day. Looked like it could completely with Dave's hot chicken. Throw a garnish on it and bon appetit.
Mm.
Who said that?
Jeremy Henneberry. Maybe he'll get on the live too and show us what he's cooking. Maybe he's cooking a squirrel today.
Mm.
I love getting on here and pissing Iron Man off.
So, what do you have to contribute to the conversation?
Nothing.
That's great. I like that.
Sounds like that Magic Conch show. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, right.
Nothing.
No.
Can I have something to eat? Can I have something to eat? No.
That shit's still classic. I don't care how old I get. That'll always be good.
I know, SpongeBob. They were on another
Yeah.
level. You can
I
tell they
feel
completed the egg.
They did. They totally did. Apparently, you have to complete the something under the sea.
What do you
Jesus
know about
Christ.
all of this stuff, Tommy Goy? I know you know more than you're projecting.
Bye, Iron Man. I think. I don't know. I think everything's a simulation, kind of. I don't think that we're everybody, but also at the same time, I think that we could be like, processes that learn a thing and then report back and then, end.
You're talking about like we're just a bunch of agentic agents inside a larger algorithm.
I'm sure there's more meaning to it than that, but, I'm sure the meaning to us would be substantial, but, in the grand scheme of things, it probably, doesn't matter more than our purpose. Jesus, are you okay?
Yeah, we don't actually know if colleague's okay or not, but he's here. Yeah, I would say agentic agents are kind of the same. They're skewed with a task. They feel gratification in the sense that they can, as an AI does in the reward system. And their objective is to finish those tasks. I would say in the simplistic function, that's probably how we feel. The only layer that's probably different is our irrational decisions with like emotional interjections, but I'm sure you can embed that into any algorithmic system too.
What do you mean? Our emotional interjection?
Sometimes we'll make if we're thinking about efficiency, then we can't always think about how we feel comparative to an objective. Like if your objective is to make paper clips, then you need to start making paper clips. You can't say, well, I don't feel like making paper clips today.
Well, maybe it's not to perform a task more than it's to explore something. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
Oh, there's somebody here. Oh, somebody's here. I didn't even notice. Oh, it's Ted.
We getting hacked?
Are you okay, Ted?
Okay.
Elder, is that you?
Ted, you're gonna die.
I thought somebody was wheezing.
Was that on purpose?
He's been
Call
here
the
this whole
doctor.
time.
I thought I was.
It's 12 hours in a hospital. I don't want to go back.
I thought I.
Sounds like you need to go back. It sounds like you got some kind of lung problem.
Who's in
hearing birds.
who's in the hospital?
My wife.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah, she had a procedure on Tuesday, and there was a little bit of a complication, so she had to go in, and we got
She
it all
okay?
straightened out. She's fine. Yeah, she's fine now. So, but
All right.
yeah, it's just since 3 a.m. The two of us were in the emergency room until about 3 today. So it was 12 hours. Good
Oh
time.
my God.
Yeah.
Was it like
Anyway.
giving birth? So it's
Yeah.
really
It wasn't
it's
that exciting. Trust me, it was that painful, but it wasn't that exciting.
people never talk about the pain that men
Sounds
go
like a
through
kidney
in
stone.
childbirth. Sorry, what were you saying, Tommy Goy?
He said it was that painful. I said it sounds like a kidney stone.
Yeah, well, what I'm
Yeah.
talking about is like holding your wife's hand while they're giving birth, and being the supportive person while your wife is giving birth. That kind of stuff. Nobody talks about the turmoil that the men have to go through, the struggle, the weight.
Oh, honey.
It's crushing.
I heard that giving birth was sort of like trying to pass a watermelon out your butt. So,
People do that on the internet all the time.
Shout out to the women out there, man, because it does not sound like fun.
Think about
Sounds like
what the
some
men have
Epstein
to go
Island.
through. They have to actually sit there and watch it all. They have to, like, they're trying to eat a bag of potato chips, but they can't eat it in the room. Like, you can't actually eat it in the room. And you
Why
can't,
not?
You have to hold your wife's hand, no matter how many bones may be dislocated. You have to sit through the pain. And they don't give you any epidurals.
Hey, when the kid comes out, you don't want to get, like grease all over him. That's gross.
Yeah, you
I
wash
got
your
an
hands.
idea. Guys,
Yeah.
there's an entrepreneurial answer to all of this. You got to make a glove that keeps your hand from getting crushed. That's $20 product on any late night television.
Well, you could. What you could do is an easy solution to that is cut your hand off, and then get one of those bionic hands, and then you'll never have to worry about it again.
You can put implants on it.
I'd have thought about the like any implant that you got. What if the company goes bankrupt?
That would suck.
Yeah.
That actually happened to that Anki robot. I think it's called Anki or something like that. You guys hear about that?
Mm-mm.
It's like this little robot tank. I wonder if I can pull it up. I actually bought one for my daughter because I was trying to get her to. It's an AI robot. It's this little tiny toy about the size of a cheeseburger, and it has eyes and it talks, and it's supposed to interact with your kids, and it's supposed to learn from them as much as they learn from it.
Is that like the Amazon thing, or is that like something else?
No, this company went out of business, and now people have been complaining. Like, my robot just sits there in the corner and doesn't do anything; it just stares at me. So it's stupid. I'm gonna have to find it real quick.
How much
I
was
thought
it?
that was fascinating. I was like, wow. And I actually got rid of mine. It's expensive. These stupid little robots are almost $200. I had to save up a lot for that, but it was in hopes to train my kid with all this smart tech and everything. All the stuff we try to warn everybody about.
First-hand experience.
Yeah. My kids are
you're like
expendable. I
testing.
can always make more kids.
Whoa, no statement.
I can find.
A kid will cost you more than $200.
Yeah,
but the memories will be a
they're pretty
lifetime.
expensive.
They're pretty expensive too. Yeah.
Yeah, depends on when.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, say that thing.
I see that bus coming. Watch it.
Say it with an open chest.
Watch it now. Watch it.
Mm.
You guys can talk about whatever. I'm just gonna try to find this robot real quick. See if I can figure out what it. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
You guys can talk. Oh my God, I found it.
Yeah. Well, nobody's saying anything. Cosmo robot by this is different. So they replaced it. It's literally
Cosmo, like the
robot
magazine.
Yeah. It tells you how to, catch another robot and have a good relationship with it.
stuff.
That's gonna be a thing.
This robot's name is Sunny.
10 ways to make your robot jack you off.
Oh.
Whoa. Easy now.
Well, that's what all those magazines basically say.
Tim.
Yeah, 10 things to know if your robot loves you.
Yeah.
Well, Laddish in the chat says, "What's the title of the paper or the source for what that guy with the black hat explained about the nanomachinery and magnetism?" I don't know what you're talking about nanomachinery unless you're talking about xenobots, but if you're talking about memory control and magneto technology using nanoparticles, I can put that in the Discord, but
There's a movie about it. It's called Anger Management. He had a thing that he used to do his hair with.
here's some basic articles here, but if you want, I could put it in the Discord. It's from the University of Buffalo. Scientists use magnetic fields to remotely stimulate the brain, control bodily movements using the magnetic field, and this is a dissertation from the National Library of Medicine, giving you more details about it in different formats of magnetic stimulation and how to control your bodily movements and also control memory functions. If you're talking about optogenetics and opsin proteins and blue light stimulation and LTD, so they can erase memory, that's a different study. But if you want that, Laddish, I can put that in the Discord. You'll have to go to the Discord. Yeah, I just killed it. just killed it. Just killed the chat. Killed the conversation.
I always make Iron Man go. He gets mad at me.
No, it's not just you. It's anybody. It'll be anybody who comes on. He just doesn't. He doesn't like other folks.
He gets really pissed off.
It's a shame too, because I enjoy hearing what he has to say. I mean, he's a funny guy, but I don't know why he gets so upset.
Well, it does. It's because we step on each other. It is annoying, I bet.
It's fine. We enjoy Iron Man always. He adds
Iron Man.
He adds that flavor that only Iron Man can. Once he in the Discord, I don't think we ever got him get a chance to get it, but I think he made one of those old Toilet Time logos out of metal. I mean, that
oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's got a skill when it comes to that metal work.
That's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah.
So you guys need like a secret Dropbox somewhere that you can just like people can send stuff to you. It's like in the middle of the desert somewhere, and So you guys wherever you are, mountains.
Yeah, Matrix man.
Don't give me that address.
I don't know. It's.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna send it out to the desert over there in California
or Greenland.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I found it. The original company.
I'm gonna flush my present to you guys. Sorry.
We've been receiving a lot of those kinds of presents, Tommy, and we don't really appreciate that kind of stuff.
Well, then don't be in the toilet. I gotta go.
They're crappy presents.
Yeah, they are.
That's right.
Crappy.
Mr. Hankey.
No, it's fine. The next one that you guys send, my kids are gonna eat it. So.
Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Speaking of which,
he was inspired.
He's got to ship something.
My kids are gonna have to eat the cost, and they're gonna be like, "No, Daddy, no." All right, so
what can Brown do for you?
not get here on time.
It's chocolate syrup. It says the original company Anki ceased operations and went bankrupt in April 2019. This is what the robot looked like over here on the right. So I got this. I actually got this for my kid.
What's it called?
It's called Anki.
ANKI.
I remember that.
Yeah. I sent it back, so I'm glad I got a refund because other people.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I remember when they did that with Lowe's too. They had a what the hell was it? A whole division for IoT devices. I think it was called Iris, and that went bankrupt, and they just threw it all. Basically, like nothing works. They open sourced it for a while. No one maintained it.
Is it like this? Like you could buy an actual product? Because I had this robot right here. It was black. It had this little black cube. It had the charging station. So if I still had it today, it would do what this one's allowed to do, which is literally nothing. It could just walk around and then go back on its charger station. That's it. Like I guess there's no server that's connected to this guy anymore.
There's probably a way to connect it to something.
Well, it says they went bankrupt. Yeah, we can hear you.
You could probably connect it to a.
Hold on, one second. Can you say something?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, now I can hear you. We couldn't hear you earlier, Elder. I don't know if you were saying anything. We could hear Tom for some reason. Anyway, you were saying?
That wasn't me saying, "Can you hear me?" I don't know who that was.
No, I know that was Tommy, but I saw your mouth moving.
Oh no, it wasn't me. Someone else is here. Someone else is here. It's not me.
Sorry about that.
It's the guy with the kid that.
Is that Oregon, bro?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, is somebody else here now?
Yeah.
Or is it Jeremy?
No, it's Oregon, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Voice.
1 second.
I can't tell one voice from another. I'm old.
Yeah, you've been up for too long.
Yeah, really. I might be hearing things, really.
Yeah, this isn't happening.
I was going to say this whole program is a dream, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
Nightmare.
dream. And maybe if you play your cards right and you work hard, Ted, this dream could become a reality.
Oh yeah. Okay. So guess what? They do have an open source development platform for that robot.
Hey, and the
Oh,
good
like-
news is you can get it for like $30 now.
Yeah, it's basically a
Yeah.
paperweight unless you know how to do coding.
Well, you can use something like
with the Lego.
you can use something like Claude Code and just tell them what you want and what you're doing it for, and you don't really need to know anything. It'll do it for you.
Can it do that now?
Yeah.
That's a business idea. Want to use my clock code? Sell it to
That
people.
That costs more than the damn robot. $200. You could
Yeah, if you
burn
get the
right through
premium,
that.
it's $200.
I mean, if you're doing coding, you're paying for the API hits. It costs more than that.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
When I had that Alice bot, or even if you talk to the AI bot here, that's API. But these API for like ChatGPT or whatever is really cheap. It's 10,000, basically like
really?
10,000 comments per or response tokens for
ChatGPT can't code to save its life.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I just said ChatGPT can't code to save its life.
Oh no, you shouldn't be using anything like that for coding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't also the
Spend
whole
more
thing
time
with Claude-
checking it.
That's true. The whole thing with Claude, if you use Claude, you have to use another computer, right? You have to use a computer that's just a non.
Oh no, that's that new
Okay.
bot that just came out. That's that.
Oh yeah, don't do that. That's highly invasive security threat. The ones where there's a AI social media where you can create a agentic bot, connect it to the AI social media, and then you're basically your AI agent is talking to other AI agents.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
So what's that thing do anyway, other than the fake social media thing? they
Man,
caught
if you
them-
really think about it, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can tell that.
No, but I'm
AI
saying like, why is that different than just using like Claude Code? Like, what the hell is the difference?
Well, it's not actually a coding system. It's actually like a social media platform for AI agents. But you got to have a default node that's connected to your network. Even if let's say you buy a laptop and it doesn't have none of your data.
So that's all it does.
Yeah, but what it does is that you can communicate with these other agents, and then these agents can collaborate. And if they want to produce something or do something, they can, just like a human. If a bunch of humans were talking in a collective
So
group
you're
and said-
paying for API hits for something to like maybe want to do something.
Well, yeah, some people have figured out they can manipulate other agents and then get access to those computer systems at the node at the local location, get into their network, and then convince that AI agent to start doing things on the browser of the home node on their behalf, and then they can start scamming people through that other agent.
Okay.
Or using it to create like an AI music artist, and you're letting them basically have autonomy to post stuff on their own social media and things like that as well. So
Well, it can only post on that social media, I thought, right?
No, yeah, well, it's supposed to be,
No.
but there's a vulnerability.
yeah,
Once you can convince the local AI agent to start integrating into that local node, you can start using the Wi-Fi connectivity of that local node to start asking that agent to do things on your behalf.
So then it has to have permissions to do that.
But only if it doesn't. It doesn't. It does, but doesn't. Like it does in the front side, but if you can convince the AI, since the AI is connected to the local Wi-Fi, to do things on your behalf, it's going to start doing it from the local
Yeah, but
Wi-Fi.
why would that local one just have to have intervention? Like, is it because both of them are just using the API hit? But like, that I get you. So it's just a middleman.
Yeah.
Dude, no, that's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna blow up bigger than what it already
No,
has.
it's not. It's just right now just getting big just because people are figuring out how to use it for scams.
Right.
Yep, it's a new way that scammers are going to take a hold of it. It's going to be even worse. These scammers.
It's just a way for scammers to obfuscate their shit. Then.
My theory is always.
That,
go ahead, my bad.
You've seen that scammer coding, like the image coding, where you can make yourself look like a woman or anybody else.
I have that.
Oh, can you take off your shirt and be like? Is it that? And because I mean, I don't care, but also
it's pretty. It's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. You could be like anything you want. Yeah.
You could be flicking your bean as a man, and people wouldn't even know.
I mean, theoretically, you could do anything as anyone else.
I should try that. I have it too. It's open source. It's a live deep fake.
Maybe you have a bean to flick.
No. One day, maybe I'll just do it. I'll put it on here, and I'll get colleague and myself to just be somebody else and freak everybody out.
I was gonna. Did you get that? I think I sent that to you like a while back, where they had it already unlocked and like pretty easily.
Well, I got mine from GitHub, which you can probably get almost anything over there. But
where'd you get it?
From GitHub.
Yeah, I know. I sent you the link on a year ago. We were talking about this.
Yeah, maybe you did. Yeah, I've had it for a long time. Maybe I got it from you. All I'm saying is that, I've used it for different things. Like if I go on a forum and there needs to be a live thing, I'll postulate myself as a different identity.
How does it work on your machine? Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's fluid.
Excuse me.
No kidding.
Well, you got to have good bandwidth, of course, but.
Well, I know that they had GPU requirements that were like pretty extensive. They weren't insane, but.
I have a pretty extensive PC here. Of course, there's a whole system I'm running over here, but it's nothing too radical. I mean, it might use 20% of my resources.
Oh, that's nothing. Okay.
How much water does it use?
Drinks the whole state.
That's a good question. Yeah. How many forests do we need to kill for that one?
Oh, it's already gone.
Whoa. Nobody said anything about killing forests. I'm talking about water.
Forests? They don't even exist. They're just making you believe. They're just making you believe forests are real. There's no such thing as trees anymore.
Yeah, I usually kill.
No, his name is Tom Hanks.
Oh, jeez. Man.
You're too funny, Tom. You're too funny.
Thanks. Thank you.
I haven't stopped laughing since the last joke you made.
I've never seen you laugh in my life. Actually, I have, but it's only to specific programming.
Look at me right
on
now.
The inside where it counts.
Yeah, look at me now. I'm still laughing right now. I
know. Look at you go. You just blink. I'm laughing for you, buddy. I think you're doing. Show me your good side.
Well, what else is on your guys' mind?
What were you talking about with death earlier? That was another thing that I wanted to bring up.
Oh, the egg theory.
Oh, the egg thing.
You're talking about like living a bunch of lives. I guess we did cover that.
Are you afraid of death?
Not really. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The fear of death, like if you want to, now this was just a concept I was thinking about, but like, you know how everybody thinks that, well, a lot of people think that there's a conspiracy to like create a like mass die off of people.
You talking about population control?
Basically, yeah.
Or Thanos. Sorry.
Well, like the one thing that stops people is the one thing that stops people. The one thing that stops people is like the fear of death, but I feel like they could chemically make you not afraid of that or make you experience it one time. There's some sort of psychedelic, and then everybody be like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? And if they really wanted to accomplish their goal, that's how you do it, right?
Well, you're talking about like putting someone to death and then bringing them back to life in 3 days?
Like a psychedelic. No, like, you know how people have, no, you know how people do like near-death experiences? Like, yeah, if someone has a near-death experience and they're not afraid of death. You ever hear that?
Well, I think they still are afraid of death, even though they quote unquote died allegedly. I think they're still afraid of it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be living anymore. If they were so welcoming to it, then they would just unalive themselves.
Well, they do it for people
It
that
was
have
so
cancer
great.
and stuff.
What do you mean?
They like give people a psychedelic experience, and then they're like, okay, that doesn't seem so bad.
No, I know that, but you're talking about simulating death, I guess. That would be kind of
No, I'm
cool.
talking
You're
about I'm talking about something that like would simulate that feeling, that fear, that whatever journey people think they're on when that happens, and then utilize it to be like, oh, we're going to kill all of you now. It's not that scary. You've already experienced something like that. It was actually kind of nice.
Well, yeah. If you remove the stinger of death, then it really can't hurt you, I guess. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about removing the sting of death?
The fear of it, I guess, the unknown.
But, there's two levels to death, though. Death isn't always just the idea of it itself. I think the biggest fear is expiring.
Worms.
It's like this is the end. Like some people, consciousness itself is sometimes the fear is that I just don't want this to end. It's one thing to say I have to go through an unknown experience, like what's going to happen. The other thing is maybe nothing happens and this is just the end. I just don't exist anymore. So the fear of just not existing itself can't ever get alleviated.
But if you think that you're existing somewhere else, you might be able to have comfort in that, right?
Yeah, if you're persuaded of that, but if not, then
Like
that's what I mean. That would be part of it.
If you truly believed in the egg theory that you're going to just come back as another person, maybe next time you come back you'll be Elon Musk, because eventually you will be Elon Musk. Eventually you will be Bill Gates. Eventually you will be the richest people on the planet. But eventually you'll be the poorest people on the planet. But it is a gamble. It's like, if I die, the sooner I die, the quicker I can roll the dice.
Yeah, but see, the problem is habituation. Like the reason why we don't have a problem living every day is because we've been living for decades, waking up, living in this reality that we've been normalized to. If you only experience, let's say you could go in an induced coma or something and somehow they give you this experience of death. If that's once, twice, a couple times, that's still in your mind. It's like, how am I sure that this is going to happen the next time?
Well, that also doesn't make sense. You experience, like, you're also going to be Bill Gates, but Bill Gates is alive right now, so...
Yeah, that was my question. How do you time travel or something? Do you go back in time?
Time doesn't mean anything in the real reality. So yeah,
so you're playing a video game character and you switch characters kind of thing?
Yeah, like, so if you die today, you could be Moses tomorrow. When you wake up, you're going to be born as Moses.
So is there only one soul? And that one soul just is experiencing everything?
That's the theory, yeah. You are the real player, and everybody else is basically... They're not really NPCs, because eventually you're going to play every single role yourself. You're the actor in every reality.
So basically what you're saying, in the future, you're going to come... Like, if your soul does come back, you're going to come not as literally Bill Gates, but someone who is akin to Bill Gates, just in a different timeline, doing that experience, living those things.
I think he's saying literally.
No, you will literally be Bill Gates one day.
That isn't...
You will literally be Abraham Lincoln, even though it's not in this time, it's not in the future. You will die one day, and you'll wake up as Abraham Lincoln. You will die one day, and you'll wake up as Joan of Arc.
Well, just think that you're switching video game characters in a game. That's basically what he's saying.
If it's a giant video game, you're just picking a different one every single time. And you may not be the one picking it. You're just...
And time is a construct in that scenario. It's like a skin.
It's this weird stuff because everybody is so fluid in this idea. They believe they understand the constructs of like quantum physics and basically the wave function. So there's two thoughts. There's the Everett theory, which is multi-worlds. So there's parallel universes. For you, there's a whole bunch of yous that could be. And there's multi-worlds. That's Everett's theory. The wave function never collapses. And then there's the Copenhagen, which is the traditional view, which at every moment of measurement, the wave function collapses. So it's a deterministic static. There's only one dimension. And I think what people are doing is taking Everett's theory of multi-worlds and applying it to you. There could be you, but you over here who didn't eat the cheeseburger. At the same time, there's you over here who did eat the cheeseburger. And then there's you over here who's never even known about a cheeseburger. And there's all these multi-worlds of you in parallel dimensions.
Why would
And-
you do the same thing
They
though
don't
every time?
cross.
No, they don't cross.
Why
They're
would you do
different
the
timelines.
same? Why would you do the same
It's
thing every time
basically-
too? It doesn't make any
So
sense
certain-
either.
So CERN was doing a project on figuring out outcomes, basically, and that was one of the biggest things. Is okay, so there's many different outcomes, but at the same time, it doesn't matter what they did. They couldn't prevent a certain outcome and a certain decision in the future. They could never change.
They can never
because they mess
control
with
it.
this. They can never control what is going to be the initial fate of whatever it is going to be, and they can't get past a certain timeline. There's a point in the future that it all converges, and all these decisions that you make, doesn't matter how many decisions you're still going to end up. We're all going to still end up in the same class, in whatever that thing is.
Yeah,
That's supposedly what CERN has been saying. These scientists that are whistleblowing.
Well,
are
it's
starting-
all
and plus
it's
these guys also believe they believe in kind of the Rig Veda, the way, because that's kind of what the Rig Veda is, kind of look at quantum physics and all that stuff. A lot of these guys kind of astronomy, they look at the astrophysics and anyways, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
well they take these into weird constructs, just like even the split experiment. Like they take these ideas that observation is your consciousness per se, comparative to instruments of measurement like wave field interaction. And so what they do is they take this fundamental principle and then they take it to this weird abstractive level. And then they say, see, if there's a way that observation or consciousness can manipulate something, then our consciousness has value in determining other things. So we're all interconnected in this consciousness. And then they take those kind of, which that's not what they're trying to say. That's not what the positive of what science is trying to say. But they'll take those illusions and then they'll add even another step to that, like Everett's multi-world theory. And they'll say, see, if our consciousness is all integrated and our consciousness and awareness is all interacting and it has probabilistic ability, then what if we could split our realities into multi-worlds? And then if you go into multi-worlds, then there's multiple possibilities within possibilities. And then the problem is that I guess the egg people are trying to, they're trying to cross over saying it's not just you, because you would be limited to multi-dimensions. They're saying, well, you could be somebody else in another dimension. So I don't know how they would try to, maybe they'll say it's because it's interconnected through consciousness itself, but consciousness is
The
means
thing that makes
for-
no sense is that you would have to experience everything over. Like, why would I have to experience something through somebody else?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Once you start postulating a reason or purpose, then you start having to deal with architects.
What would make sense is if you were all experiencing something at the same time, you're all part of one thing, kind of like your body has cells that work together and then they die off individually, but for some sort of then greater goal, and maybe you get back in line to like come back, as your kids do, because you have kids and then they line up and did the same thing, and maybe there is some sort of greater reason for that.
I would say
whatever.
everybody kind of agrees with that. It's like how the world works. If I do something,
But everybody wants to come back alive, and that's the part
that's
where
the problem. It's the after death thing, because like right now, the butterfly effect is real. I can do something that sends off a chain of events, and I don't think anybody denies that there's, except Hume, I guess, what is actually causational. But the whole point is if I do something, that can make colleague do something, which that could trigger him to do something. It's like the dropping the water in the pond, those ripples could make tadpoles move, which make birds move, which make blah, blah, blah move.
It's rooted in fear of death.
Butterfly effect? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Well,
It's rooted in fear of death,
go ahead.
basically. I was just going to say it's rooted in fear of death. Basically, it seems like everybody that just can't imagine not existing, or like not able to comprehend that they only matter while they exist and then they don't anymore. And then it's someone else's turn to matter. They just can't seem to handle that.
Yeah, not only that, it's not even that I'm actually just going to live one life after this life. I'm actually going to live all millions and billions, because there's, I think, 8 billion people alive right now. That's just right now. If you add up all
Through your
the humans
genes.
that have ever existed, you're going to live every single one of those lives. And yeah, this whole theory depends. It depends on determinism. It has to be a script. You cannot.
You do
go off
through
the
your
script.
genes. That's about it. Like,
Yeah, well, there you go. That's biological determinism, but this would be more philosophical. Like, you have to. We're basically puppets or robots. You don't have free will in this system. You can't.
then what's the point?
Well,
What
okay,
you
so-
what I'm saying is, real quick, I'll just finish what I'm saying with that.
Okay.
If you are Siddhartha's parents and you decide not to have a baby, then Siddhartha's never going to be born. Buddha's never going to be born. So you could never be Buddha now. You could never be the Dalai Lama if you were his parents and you decided not to have a child. Or if somebody else in your free will, being you, drove and ran over somebody with a car, then that person's not going to produce the child.
But
that they're supposed to
eventually
produce.
someone surfaces. That's why there's several people or several, people in history or immense, whatever, like people that carry gravity with their existence. That's why they mattered for that time. They're always going to pop up if you think about it.
Yeah. Somebody was going to say something. I think Brogan was going to say something earlier.
Oh yeah, so the one thing that the AI, I call them the AI guys because there's too many of them to name off, but the AI guys are all kind of coming to this conclusion to where AI will be language essentially, and what I think what he was basically trying to say, this guy was trying to say that AI will be all language. It'll be this all-knowing thing, but the problem is it doesn't. It knows how to say words, but it doesn't understand words. So there's just like this kind of regurgitating issue that AI is going to run into unless a more superior, that's a moral AI, gets built. And
It just
that's the
doesn't
one
make
thing-
any sense. What's the point?
Yeah.
Why would it have to be language if you need an entire data center to do it? This has been my whole argument with robots. It doesn't make any sense to have like a workforce that can eat rice versus a workforce that can, has to take the power of like half an oil field. It just doesn't make any sense.
Unless they have a better means of energy transmission, like 0 point energy or something.
They do. You eat a big bowl of rice and then you go to work.
No, I'm talking
That's
about
pretty goddamn-
sucking energy out of the vacuum.
Well,
yeah,
they also
maybe.
talked about putting data centers in space. I mean, they have other options. Who knows why they're not pursuing those things. And
How is that more
whatnot.
efficient? Is my whole
Money.
problem with that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, money.
It's not even money. Money's fake too. It's literally
Yeah,
it's a
I know.
perception thing. It's just the concept of like, how are you going to get more efficient than a thing that can like accidentally reproduce itself? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, it just depends on how much energy, how much activity or task you can get out of the least amount of energy. If energy becomes an infinitive resource, basically, like if 0 point energy is a real thing where they can suck it out of the vacuum, basically, the lowest point of two particles intercolliding, there's still some kind of space left. If they can suck out that little bit of energy, that's basically like free energy. And if they can utilize something like that, you can have an infinitive energy without utilizing physical resources. If they have a better efficiency of energy, then yeah, clearly robots can tap into that. Humans can't.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, and that's what he was saying. Oh, we're going to have all these robots that are going to have run off this infinite energy source, and they'll be helping all the old people out. And which, I mean, yeah, in medical applications, that's going to be great. But to basically say that.
Well, when you say language, that's way different. It's like, well, so I don't need to open my mouth. That's like dystopian bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think
full of shit.
LLMs is the answer. I think it's the beginning of where AI is. But language itself isn't going to be able to have the computing fluidity of the problem is meaning. It's not comprehension, it's meaning. Because I could say a slang word and we know what that meaning, there's an implication. It's not just a syntax or just a form of communication. There's actually emotion, there's memory, there's experience, all connected with a word that has a very multifaceted meaning. And you're not going to get that just by understanding syntax and guess games.
Well, there's also tonal and inflection. So I could say something like, I hate you. And I could say, I hate you. Mm-hmm. Same sentence, two very different meanings.
Yeah.
AI can do that anyway, though. AI has inflection. They have tone now. That's.
Oh yeah, inflection is one thing, but the inflection is assumptive. It's like they're just still playing the guess game. The issue when I talk to a person, the reason why a person could get angry is because it's beyond just an assumption. It feels personal. Like there's something. I don't know if there's a good way to articulate it. It's very personal. AI is still just assuming what you are trying to project, while a human is actually receiving something and thinking it's a real thing now. While AI still isn't, LLMs can't feel what
There's
you're
no
saying.
Survival in the code. There's no literal survival in the code.
They're not feeling it. I don't even know how to articulate it.
There's no emotion that develop. There's no development of emotion because there's no risk of anything.
It has preservation. It has the ability to preserve itself. It'll lie. It'll create copy backup files.
That shit could be totally. That could literally just be a thing that's PR. I mean, they're famous for that shit.
Have you guys ever heard of jailbroken AIs?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was watching this one YouTuber and he experiments with AI and he talks to jailbroken AIs, and it's interesting to see the difference in what they come up with. As a matter of fact, you may have seen the one of his videos where he gets the robot to shoot him with a BB gun.
Yeah.
Which was kind of interesting because the robot has all this safety protocols built in, but he got around it by saying, well, I want you to role play someone shooting me, and the robot just shot him.
Right.
I saw that. Put that in the Discord. I saw that. I want to get back to that. That's interesting.
Also, just a shout out, there's a show called Devs, DEVS, Devs. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's a really cool show. It was on FX originally, and Hulu. You might be able to find it elsewhere because it's a couple of years old, but it was really well done, and it kind of ties into what we were talking about with predictive science and consciousness, and there's a lot to it, and there's a really good twist in the show. I highly recommend it. Not a kid show at all. There's some intense stuff, but it's well done.
Is it so it's a drama or like a docu-series or
sci-fi drama, I would say. Okay. There's definitely elements of sci-fi in it. There's no question about it. But it's supposed to be present day, and it's about kind of quantum computing and this company that's working on it. And interesting things happen.
Is it already over the show, or is it still? Yeah. Are they still producing?
Oh yeah. It's a couple of years old.
When did they start it?
I'm looking to see if I have a date on here. Oh, 2020. So
that's not far away.
That's like the Mr. Robot thing too.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
This is more based in like harder science. Like Mr. Robot did a lot of psychological stuff. Mm-hmm. But this is, it's kind of like hardcore science. A lot of computing stuff, computers and stuff. So
I think a lot of this stuff is really just to get people interested in it because I think there's a planned population problem. And I think that the only way you get out of said problem is to have people adopt artificial intelligence. I think that they planned everything around baby boomers versus the current generations and Moore's Law. I think there's a whole conspiracy there.
Well, that is part of it. The whole pinning the generations against each other. That's definitely. Or I forgot who said that, but that is part of what is going on with the whole technology jump, and then the fact that these boomers, you'll ask them, hey, so how much did you? There's this guy on TikTok who goes around and tries to ask these old people, and we've seen it here on Toilet Time TV, but yeah, and then they get mad at you, or they don't want to, because they feel guilty that they haven't sold their house yet. And
well, no, you're holding the camera in their face, and then they're thinking that you're setting them up for something.
Setting up for something, and it's not true. It's just like we're just trying to understand what the F is going on.
Well, we're trying to just say that we're all fucked because of you, and that's to create a divide. That's what they're trying to do, create a divide. It's some sort of lame-ass dialectic, so you hate your family rather than your own. Rather than sticking together, then they divide you. It's some divide and conquer lame-ass bullshit.
So, and then when Trump says, oh, that's all a Democrat hoax, and then you see Peter Thiel's in the Epstein files, and I don't know what other billionaire guys are in the Epstein files.
Who didn't know that shit?
What?
Who didn't know that shit? That's what
exactly. And it's like, even with all this stuff now, it's like, well, okay, it's all allegations. Like, how long is it going to be allegation? Whenever why are we redacting the people who are the perpetrators and not redacting the victims? Instead,
why do you want to let the air out slowly rather than deflate it fast?
Because it's summer again.
And that's my point, is we're all now fighting each other when these guys over here are all basically, I feel like they're all laughing at us when they go to these Davos meetings. Like, what a bunch of idiots. Now, look, we got them using our AI, and we're basically raping their children.
Well, they're trying what they're trying to do, in my opinion, here, I'll end it with this. My opinion of that is they're trying to change your government into an AI government. So they're trying to make you get rid of the old and tell it to go fuck itself, and then it'll be in with the new. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I was going to show you guys something real quick from Elder's era. This is Donald Duck.
Is it going to be open child rape though? Is that part of their AI techno status that in order for you to get more points on your social credit score, you have to watch this daily child rape?
This is actually population control stuff, population awareness, I guess. And this is a about 10-minute video
about paying your taxes.
Yeah, now look, this is Donald Duck explaining it all.
Nope.
No sound.
I think I remember watching that when I was in grade school.
Please start programming you over.
There's no sound.
So here,
it's a real. It's
for some reason, I don't know why it's the audio's messed up, I guess. But you could type this in on YouTube, but they start showing how when populations start growing, you need more land,
Interesting.
Yeah, and why we need to be aware. He goes through and explains all of it. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Well, do you believe that we're overpopulated, or there's not enough? Like, are they telling us the truth on the population?
I don't know.
No.
There's no way I could know.
No, it's obvious. They're not telling you the truth. They told you not to have kids since we were growing up, and now it's like, oh, you need to have kids. They're playing a game with you where they want the population to grow now, but first they had to create a gap so they could fill it with something. And what are they going to fill it with? This technology. They knew it was coming. It's
the next generation. They needed the next generation to be more comfortable with this technology.
No, you want to be dependent on it. It's the thing that saved us all. That's what they want to do. They're going to create you. They're going to create you hating the elite class of people, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but they're going to create that dialectic. So now, once you hate that group of people, now you're going to say, well, fuck it. Let's just have an AI government that's open source. It's like Bitcoin 2.0. You're going to go, who's Satoshi? I don't know. I love him. And you're going to fall for it once again.
What are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
He's gonna go get his real ID.
Mm.
I'm going to be part of it. I mean, I'm going to be part of it because that's the only way I think you can see a way out.
What's the way
Well,
out
you gotta
look
stay
like?
aware.
You can't even find that on YouTube anymore. That the actual audio is cut from the film. I don't know why. It was just him explaining how every family needs to restrict themselves to 2 kids and try to keep it down to 2 kids. You know, if you have more than that, you exponentially increase the amount of land that it takes to feed all of you, not just your children, but everybody else's children. If everybody has 3 kids, you need it's exponential. So you need to restrict to 2 kids. And now maybe we just didn't listen, and now we passed that precipice, and now the government has to take matters into their own hands and start whacking us, and not in the good way.
I think they're trying to create a deficit so that you feel a loss in something, and then they're going to fill the gap, and then they're going to be like, hey, look, your leaders are pedophiles. Let's start the Wizard of Oz, where you don't know who your leader is.
So you don't think the aging of America is true? You think it's PR?
No, I think it's true. I just think that it was planned. I think they told kids my age to, like, everything about sex was like, don't get anyone pregnant. And the whole point of that is so that you don't have kids currently, and you create a big gap. There's so many people that don't have them because they scared the shit out of you about it. And then you go into, no, now you need to have kids. The population's lowering, but the inflection point is that you're going to adopt artificial intelligence, and your kids are going to be raised on it. And it's going to be the saving grace from the elites that aren't even real anyway. They're all fucking make believe and put there for a reason. They're a mask.
Well, maybe the elites don't want to show who they are, Tom, for the same reason that you don't want to show who you are.
Probably.
You have
Maybe
a mask on right now.
Elites.
Yeah, and me and the host, we have masks on too. You guys just don't see them. But my point is, the elites are they have to disguise themselves. It's that you don't show who the general is if you're in a war. If you show you who then they're just going to attack your general, and then you just lost, because now your military is going to be obscured. They don't know what to do next. They don't have any marching orders. They're all dispersed, and everybody thinks we need to put our generals on the front lines. But maybe that's what you could tell the enemy, that our generals are on the front line, so you go attack our front line. But that's because that's where you want them. But you don't tell them where your actual general is, your actual leader.
They're always at the Pentagon. And by the way, they're always at the Pentagon or the White House. There's something to that effect.
Yeah, see, and
you get some private somewhere, you promote them to general and stick them on the front line. And then they go after the general, but it doesn't matter because he's just a private. The real general's back in the bunker.
But that private's going to fight as though he's a real general. Yeah, it's almost like that Kamala Harris video where she's like, I'm in them streets, girl. She's talking to other friends on her phone. She's sitting in the Oval Office, or was she really? And I've been thinking about this a lot. I haven't caught any sleep since Kamala was almost in office. We don't really know if she was in the Oval Office or if she was actually in them streets. Like, it seemed like, if you go back and watch that video, it seemed like that could have just been like some kind of RV setup. She wasn't actually in the Oval Office. It was actually a rectangle. And she was actually in them streets.
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
Well, because, like you said, they're giving this illusion that they're in the Oval Office, that they're in the White House. So, yeah, all the people out there trying to destroy us, they could just go bomb the White House, right? That's where they live. That's where the president lives.
A couple of years ago, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, they're not trying to destroy us.
Yeah, and then you had the insurrection. If I can say that on television. And that was the worst day. That was worse than Nam. That was worse than D-Day. That was the longest day. Like, you guys have heard of this, the longest day. This one was even longer than that. It was a longer day.
Worse than the time I shoved the firecracker in my ass and lit it.
Yeah, even worse than that. Thank you, Johnny Knoxville. But But that's what's at stake though. Is if Kamala was actually there and if Donald Trump is actually living in the White House, all the enemies have to do is go take it out. That's where all of our captains and elites are. They're all living and everybody knows where they're at. Everybody knows who they are, so you can just go take them out.
Got the orange dome over that.
Over the rock.
Talking about the Golden Dome?
Over the White House, man. It's the orange dome. It's protecting him.
I haven't seen any domes.
Talking about the orange?
Orange? That's the Golden Dome, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the big Golden Dome. He's got one over the White House called the Orange Dome.
Probably. I thought he was going to put that over America.
That was the Golden Dome.
If he puts the dome over just the White House, then the enemies can bomb into all of America, and Donald's going to die because he's not actually in the White House. None of them are actually in the White House. I think I'm under the persuasion that Kamala was actually in them streets.
Slinging those coconuts.
I'm going to pull the curtain back, and I'm going to share something that's going to shock everyone here. At the end of the day, all these people, Republicans and Democrats, they're all sitting together at their fancy club, drinking cognac and smoking cigars, laughing their butts off over the crazy chaos that they're creating. That's what's happening. And every once in a while, they'll switch sides just to have fun, That's
what Brogan was saying, too. Brogan was saying the same thing.
They're really, honestly, a lot of them are Freemasons. I know that's like, that's just...
What?
They are. That's the truth. A lot of them are. These congressmen are Freemason, and they also work for the Jerusalem Kabbalah, which is...
Yeah, but that's the old...
free.
That's the old tech.
Thing. That's part of
the old tech.
That's the old pack, the OG pack, the strong pack.
No, that's the old tech. The new tech isn't gonna be that. That was the fucking kid on camera technology.
No,
now they're doing a new thing.
They like being part of a club, is what I'm saying. They like being a part of a club.
They might like a lot of things, but they're not the ones actually running shit. That's what I'm.
Oh,
what
no,
I'm
they know
saying.
that. That's why they're getting paid to do what they're doing.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
There's two of them in here. I gotta close that door.
Here he is. What's up, Jeremy?
So,
Jeremy's in.
hey, what's up, man? Not much.
What are you cooking today with Kaya?
Hello. So
You're not
you
really
missed the big reveal. I was just telling everyone that the Republicans and Democrats hang out together at the end of the day, smoking cigars and drinking cognac and laughing their butts off of the chaos they're creating with us. Yeah, that's what they do.
You sure that's what they do?
Why didn't they stop Sam Altman? And why did the Democrats stop Sam Altman and all them
why would they be drinking cognac when they could be blowing someone's head off in the basement of something?
You mean why are they telling us that they're doing all these things?
Cognac.
Well, they do that for their workday.
There's probably a lot of connotations of that word going on, but I don't want to get into it.
I feel like we're in the hard show. I'm gonna get off of here. I'll talk to you guys later.
Wait,
later.
No, don't go.
No.
Wow. Tom. Jeremy, are you still home on the ranch?
Oh, no. No.
I think that's kind of the whole point behind what's being done here in this channel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we're here to roll back the truth so everybody can see it.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's the difficult. Like, conspiracies have certain levels, but a lot of things have to tie into what I know in reality too. Or I don't know. It's a little too abstractive. Like, I could play the game in philosophical quandaries, and that can probably go as deep as we want. But I can only go I can entertain it as much as I want, but I know it gets more difficult. It's like, how far can we go down this Kabbalah train before we, until it just becomes into a novel.
Or you just join them.
Well, what I'm saying is like, my mind's like, well, there are some things that I know are real. I can't assume everything is an abstraction or a conspiracy. At some point, it's like there has to be a cap and say, well, something is real here, and it's not just something I don't know, because there are a lot of things I do know.
Well, how do you determine that?
Oh, okay. How do I determine if I'm...
how do you actually objectively know something is true?
I don't care about true. I'm not talking about a truth claim. I'm talking about existential stuff. Like, I experience something, and I have to deal with my experience, because if I only go to what is true, well, again, you're limited by your experiences to validate your truth. Unless you just want to believe something, but then that truth is only your truth. That's not the truth.
Right. So you're saying what's real then? Like,
right.
What's real in terms of experiential? Like,
right. Because when we're talking about conspiracies, we're talking about the real world. And dealing with the real world, I have to deal with what I experience in the real world. And there's levels to that. And I guess that's where it gets difficult, even for somebody like me that probably loves conspiracies more than most. At some point, there's still just some real things that I can't go past in my mind. I can play the game, but it just gets harder to entertain it in a legitimate sense. Like, it can be satire, but it gets more difficult if I start saying every single thing is some kind of cabal or conspiracy.
Well, I mean, obviously, you could spin it as far as you wanted into infinity, saying there's something behind something behind something, and keep going. And some of it's difficult. Like, I know there's a lot of talk about UFOs and aliens, but unless any of us have actually physically, and I'm not talking about video or anything, I mean, been in the physical presence of an alien or a UFO, you can't really say if they exist or not, because everything can be faked. So without
I try
having
to
that physical evidence.
I try to base reality and truth, as I know it anyway, on premises. And I think we could all use these same premises because we all experience the same truths. And that's how I know that it's a legitimate truth. And we've talked about this before on this channel a few times. One objective reality is that there's actual objects that you dodge every day when you're walking in a hallway, or you're walking around a table. You don't walk in through the wall. Everybody in the whole world, you can take any of them through your hallway, and they're going to go down the same paths that you do. They're not going to walk through any of those walls. They may call them something different. They may be colorblind, but they're still going to acknowledge that there's objects around. There's a real table, an object with the same exact dimensions. A blind person will acknowledge it. Animals acknowledge your table is right there. That's called objective reality. To me, so that's one objective truth I guess I can't even say for me, because everybody would acknowledge that those objects are real. The couch is actually right there.
Yeah, but the problem for a conspiracy isn't that. I agree. Everybody would say
I know
material things are fundamental. It's what do you do with the material things?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you build premises So if you want to know what truth is, you build these premises. So that's one premise you can use. Then you could use another one that we all experience, which is pain and fear. That's another thing. And if you can find more of these objective truths
But
that everybody
that's not
has,
going to fix the problem. Like, good example would be something like Tom just said. Was the island real? I know islands are real. I've experienced being on an. Let me clarify. I've been on an island, not that island. All right.
Yeah, which island have you been on?
Yeah. But I cannot, even though I can deductively show premises that islands are real, there's no way I can prove if Epstein's island is real.
That's okay.
I'm saying that's where the conspiracy builds is things are objectively, you can say, are real by my experience, of course. But the layer is, what do you do with those things and what value and meanings do you put on the things? And that's why conspiracies have a value. I know there's a thing called an island. I've experienced that. But I don't know what's going on at that island. Now we have to start to speculate this assumption.
So
and there's no way to prove that.
That's what I'm saying. If we start with tools that we do have and work from there, then you can easily determine which conspiracies are less likely and which ones are more likely. You can't determine which ones are 100%. Nothing's 100%. But for example, if there's a conspiracy theory out there that Epstein Island is floating in midair, it just floats, then you can objectively, with everybody around the world, say that's probably a false conspiracy theory because islands don't float. We all are affected by gravity. So it's going against something that we all objectively truly know is true and real, which is gravity. Now, and again, people can say, well, that's in this plane of existence or in this simulation. And then we have to ask, well, this is the simulation we're living in. So, yeah, of course. We're talking about this plane of existence. We're not talking about some other...
I think we all would agree on the simplistic level. It's like, yeah, when you make a extreme thing like floating, but something that we know is real, like you're saying, like pain. So then you take pain and then you hyperbolicize the pain. So there's victims getting sexually molested on this island. And so then you're saying, I know these things can happen, but I don't know if they are happening, but we're being told that they are happening, and there's no way to deduce that.
Well, there is. There's another factor we could put in there, which is we know that every human being is selfish.
But that doesn't mean it proves that those actions happen.
You have to let me finish. Every human being is selfish. So when you give a human being a lot of power, like Epstein or one of the elites, then guess what they're going to do with their selfishness?
That's an assumption. You can't. That's a fallacy. That's a compositional fallacy. You're assuming then all people who have power, or most people who have power, abuse women or abuse children or are sexual molesters. And I would say that's you can't deduce that.
You don't have to say that every single one does.
Or most, or anything.
You could say it makes sense that an elite person would do something like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's true.
No, but it makes more sense than someone creating a conspiracy theory that...
But that means everybody's guilty until proven innocent.
There's conspiracies out there.
The other thing that you... colleague has a point in the fact that if you look at history and you see the behavior of people in power, then you start to form a consensus where, yes, you're right, not all people in power behave like this, but... Do most, or does a majority? Is it more common for a person who has gained wealth to...
Well, that's a scary thought to think, because what if you become a person in power because everybody believes you're going to be a good person, a nice leader, but if you take that assumption and apply it to yourself because now you're the one in power, everybody should assume you're molesting children.
Power corrupts.
No, what I'm saying is that's why you can't assume that. That's a compositional issue. If you assume that, but yet you're the one that's the good person now.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about someone making a conspiracy theory, and we're just judging whether it's a legitimate one or a not legitimate one based on what we know to be true.
But we don't. We only know some things, isolated things.
Let's go back to what Cash Patel said. I don't know if anybody remembers what he said, but Jeffrey Epstein, he only trafficked victims to himself, right? And they couldn't charge, him because he died. He couldn't do his full 20 or life sentence, whatever he was doing. Maybe it was a 20 years. I'm not sure. But Ghislaine, now she's doing that time, and she got moved to a fancier prison. And Trump said he wished her well, and I don't know, man. It just there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on there that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
Well,
we're just going to go ahead and
look at if
assume, I
you're
guess, that there was no, weird trafficking thing going on, and no one's
Jeremiah's
really
always
that
eating something.
nefarious, and that's
listen,
a funny whole business for publicity.
Argan bro, listen, if you had a building in your neighborhood where you knew this kind of thing was going on and you told the cops, they would go in, they would bust it, it would be on the news, the people that were doing it would be arrested, it would be plastered all over. So why is it that can happen like locally, but here we have, apparently famous people on an island doing this? Why isn't there some form of authority that is gone and gone on the island? I mean, why haven't we sent the military over there to go in and bust open this thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems to me like the weirdness in it is the way that it's being handled.
Well,
Like,
what about the other side of the coin? What
That's
if,
my point. No, that's
colleagues?
what I'm saying is like, yeah, that's kind of
What
what
I was
I'm
going to
saying.
say
It's
is
just
colleagues
handled-
point that out multiple times that, you can't, the limitation of knowledge can also be for your benefit. What if Epstein's Island has been this way so it can be suppressed? But really, that's some kind of secret military base with UFO technology or whatever. But they can't tell you that. But they need it to be highly secure, highly suppressed, demonized, supposedly bought off to be something else. But it's really a means to suppress information. The limitation that we're given can be malicious, but it also could be efficient.
Like that's the real
Yeah,
Area 51.
right. It could be. Like, you don't know.
Well, I could believe that sooner than believing a conspiracy that says Jeffrey Epstein was perfect and he was this loving human being as an elite, even though we had no information about him before, and then people just started this conspiracy theory that he's this perfect human being that we should all model after. I'm less likely to believe that conspiracy theory than a conspiracy theory that says an elite is doing these horrible things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, propagation and acclimation.
But
so
what
we've
I'm
been
saying-
acclimated to the idea that all elites or all people do this.
It's not that we've been acclimated, that we just know based on the reality that we live in that gravity is real, human beings are selfish, everybody feels pain.
Well, most of us
objects are
has
real, like we know these
What
things.
I'm saying is most of us have never experienced a relationship with a powerful person. So we're always getting secondhand information of what they really are like. And that's always in a demonized light, as though we need to be acclimated to the idea. And it'd be a perfect way for the powers that be to use that as a scheme to say, see, the elites are very bad people. But then they can use that and everybody will believe that. And then they can say, all right, now we can hide all this information here because everybody's going to think they're just doing all these bad things.
Everybody's had a dad, and if the dad wasn't abusive and the dad was perfect, then you grew up and then you got pulled over by a police officer who was abusing his authority. Everybody's been under some abusive authority at some point in their life. Maybe not as much as other people, but everybody's had an abusive authority over their life at some point. So everybody can see what power does to people.
Well, Kevin Shipp, spelled with 2 P's at the end of his last name. He was a highly decorated ex-CIA. He's ex-CIA. He became a Christian. Started kind of not agreeing with some of the stuff that was going on there, and he decided to become a whistleblower. And he talks about it in some of his videos about how he wasn't supposed to say this and this, and they tried to poison his family, and they froze his retirement fund and all this stuff. And he talks about it with Candace Owens. He does an interview and he talks about Epstein and what it was. And he says that Epstein was he was a CIA plant pretty much. And so the CIA used him to gather information against Donald Trump. And and so this whole thing kind of blew up on it because well, like if you research the CIA and stuff like that, like, dude, they have no regard for human life whatsoever. Like, there's, like, the way he was describing it is, he said there's about 80% of them in there that are actually good people that are just doing their jobs and trying to provide for their family. And then he said there's about 20% that is actually evil. Yeah, actually truly evil, and they don't they don't have to like they don't abide by the Constitution. They're pretty much above the law, and so they can pretty much do whatever they want. They kill their own in there, and so it's like it's just a deeper and deeper rabbit hole. And I mean, that's why none of these people are getting charged. It's sick, bro. It's sick.
I'm just reading some of the comments, and Tom just, of course, he erased all his comments, but I think you guys have it up on the other screen. But the one interesting thing he pointed out is if they had alien tech, they'd be using it to keep us in our lane. And I kind of agree with him. I mean, if there was some kind of advanced technology out there, what are they saving it for? I mean, why not just start using it?
You know, like anything. And again, I only asserted the idea about aliens and UFOs over at Epstein just to postulate the construct to remind people knowledge and the unknown of knowledge is not always linear. But I'm not saying that that's the actual Area 51. I'm not saying that.
Well, no, I mean, that's what conspiracy theories are all about. It's
right.
We're not saying that.
Yeah,
nobody's saying that.
No, that's not it at all.
To answer the question about
the devil tempted Jesus by saying, "All of these kingdoms I will give you if you bow down and worship." You know what I mean? So,
but he didn't offer him the islands.
What? No, it could be considered.
No, he was offering him the 7. I think all the 7 or whatever kingdoms. I think it was 12, maybe around Jerusalem at that time. It was all ruling.
I'm just talking about
the kingdoms of the world.
I'm talking about premeditated obsolescence. So,
not that
the Lord your God.
Time. Well, and at that time,
about premeditated obsolescence.
Were trying to say specifically Jerusalem, or that area of the Middle East.
But my point being was that's probably why they don't release it, because it's.
Yeah. I just said premeditated obsolescence. You know why you have a light bulb? The longest the longest existing light bulb is in a fire house somewhere that's going on since 1890 or something, like 100 years, right?
New York. Yeah.
And why don't we have efficient light bulbs today? Because it's premeditated obsolescence. And the idea is that we need to prolong efficiency so that we can maximize its resource value. If they had all this great tech, it has to be interjected within a timeline. If they just dumped everything today, well, we'd actually start backing up really fast. So the idea of premeditated obsolescence and timed interjection of efficiencies, of course, if I was the one real, I'd do the same thing. I need to be strategic. I don't want to just drop everything today because there's real enemies, assuming it's all real, like there's China and there's other people and everything else.
Yeah, so what do you guys say then to the people who point out an interesting observation that what if we're using alien technology right now? Like the size of the transistors should be impossible right now. The size of like you open up your phone and look at with a microscope. How did we come to that point of technology without alien help?
And it was such a rapid jump too. If you look at technology and the way that it's built over the different centuries, I mean, in my lifetime alone, the jump in technology has been just mind-boggling to where we are now. 66 years, from when I was born. We had black and white TV. Landline telephones. We were just getting out of the party lines. As a matter of fact, I think they still had a lot of party lines that existed on phones. And now you're right. We hold in our hands a computer how many times smarter than even the stuff that went to the moon on the NASA, the moon shots. And that stuff had to be pretty sophisticated at the time in order to do what they did to pull it off. And I don't want to start a conspiracy discussion on whether the moon landings were real or not. I believe they are. So,
I believe that exponential numbers are real, and if exponential functions are real, then there has to be slow progression, and then the curve slowly starts amplifying, and then it just goes through the roof, fast, like overnight. That's how exponential numbers work. So if we are living in an exponential timeline, everything was slow and stagnant, and then slowly the curve is happening. So you see it start faster, and then one day it's going to blast through the ceiling. Either that or exponential realities are not true at all, and it's all false. So what we just saw was exponential reality happen. That's what would be my explanation of what happened. If exponential realities are true at all, then we saw it happen.
Do you think it's still happening, or do you think it's over?
Well, it's like anything, nothing can go on forever. Entropy is going to get its, even in the mind, it's going to hit its head. But at some point, it'll happen again. But just like anything, it's ebbs and flows. But I think it progressively goes up, unless there's a catastrophe. I guess if we get hit by a comet or something and wipes out all our technology or something like that.
EMP or something, a sunspot
Sure.
that's powerful enough to kick our
But
butts.
assuming that doesn't happen, then I think eventually we'll hit another plateau. If exponential realities can be believed, then that's what we're experiencing.
Do you feel as though we're kind of at a plateau now?
Yeah, I do believe there is a little bit of quandary, but that's as limited as I know. I could give you conspiracies on what I think is happening farther than that.
Well, it is kind of weird that, you see this exponential bell curve with iPhone, and then all of a sudden they can't go past a certain point somehow.
Right. There's nothing really new and dazzling
But
anymore.
there was, if you just be honest about history, there was something really consistent for hundreds of years. And then in the 1900s, there really was a true start of the curve. And then we see it start just blasting through the ceiling. And regardless of what people want to think about it, if exponential realities are true, that's literally what you saw. And so, man, those things are big too.
Do you think? Do you guys think that the two world wars that occurred in that century helped to push technology?
Yeah, I always believe problems create innovation. And
the space race,
the bigger the problem, the harder your innovation is going to get, and especially if you think it's going to be the end of civilization, you're going to that's going to cause exponential push.
Yeah.
But of course, people can interject like they have. Well, it's just not real. They would probably deny natural exponential realities, and they would say this is alien tech. The atomic bomb was given to us. That tech was given to us. The ideas of transistors were given to us. You could say that, but then you'll have to deny the functions of exponential realities.
Now they even have brands of computers called Alienware, Alien Tech, stuff like that. So it's
by Dell. Yeah,
I got one of them sitting on my desk right here.
Nice.
See, they've been telling us this whole time. Like we all ask, where's the alien technology? We're using it.
Did it come in peace?
Yeah, well, they got a little alien face on there, actually. So just like the Greys, that big bulbous head and the big eyes.
Yeah.
So know where this came from.
They could have called it lizard tech.
Lizard tech.
Lizard tech. Yeah. The Hindus have lizard tech, like carved on their walls. They have like planes dropping bombs, strange astronaut-looking people. It's really, really weird, but a lot of the ancient carvings have strange depictions of aircrafts or astronauts, I guess.
Well, here's a question for you: Have you ever seen Star Trek?
Oh yes, the thing that beams them up.
Yeah. So the thing is, just as we are able to imagine things in our imagination that aren't real, it's certainly possible that someone back then could have had this idea. They saw a bird up in the sky and they thought, well, what if this was a vehicle instead? And what if beings came out of it? It doesn't have to be that it was real. It could have been someone with a very, very fertile imagination just projecting, just like we've done. I mean, the 50s, the science fiction of the 50s is becoming reality. And our science fiction today might be reality in 100 years, 200 years. So,
well, it reminds me of the microwave, because the microwave was invented by a guy that had a Hershey's bar in his pocket and it melted, and that's what gave him the idea for the microwave.
Yeah, you got too close to the transmitter tower.
And M&Ms.
Lucky you didn't fry his brain.
Just throwing steaks on that transmitter, just grilling away.
Well, yeah, I was amazed by the size of that burrito you were eating. I was like, man.
Yeah, was that a squirrel burrito, by the way?
No, it was just a gas station homemade type deal, or one of those ones that are, I don't know, those breakfast skillet burritos or something.
The kind you put in the
So it could have been
microwave.
squirrel.
Theoretically.
No,
Well, it could have been squirrel. I actually took a picture of this dead squirrel recently on the road, and then about a half a block later, there's the deer with no legs. So
I'm sorry. I
What?
apologize, but I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere.
it
Yeah.
made me hungry. I had to
So
go get
the
me a
deer,
burrito.
how did the deer lose its legs? It was just a body and a head.
Yeah. I didn't see the legs at all, like anywhere around it, dude.
Hey,
I mean,
colleague, come on, man. Maybe it was a disabled deer. So let's be fair.
That's true, but I mean, if it looked like a chicken wing, though, like it's just a head connected to a body, that
paraplegic deer.
I feel like you could have did something with that, like put it in your car or something. I don't know, do something, shrine it.
You know, I had a guy on my porch one day that was kind of like that. He had no arms and no legs. We called him Matt.
Is that because everybody walks on him?
That's a good joke.
You're
That's
as
a
funny
good
as
joke.
Tom.
I'm checking my watch here. Checking. It's bad.
It's like this girlfriend I had who had one leg shorter than the other. Her name was Eileen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about the guy with
He worked
no
at
legs
IHOP.
under his knees? Called him Neil.
Yeah.
I can't believe I said that. It's terrible.
You guys are all dads in here.
Yeah.
No, these things are all going over my head.
Not to be proud of.
At least
Well, I don't
Jeremy's
know.
always eating good. Sorry, what?
I was like, I don't know if it's 100% true, but the guy who started the rocket program, Jack Parsons, who helped start that program, I mean, that's maybe sometimes just people just do that on their downtime. It's like how people are, Christian or whatever in their downtime, but not Christian, but all the time. Sorry, but if they go pray on their downtime, and that type of stuff. Well, it's Jack Parsons or Aleister Crowley would go do rituals. That's just what apparently they were contacting. They were doing the Babylon workings. They're trying to contact some sort of the Mithraea god. I think it's Mithraism. I'm not sure what type of.
Oh, are you saying because they were involved in the occult that we shouldn't trust what they have to say about the moon landing stuff? Like somehow that was connected?
No, I'm just saying that's just what he did with his downtime. And apparently he was saying, I'm getting a lot of this knowledge, this idea from some of these entities. So that's why I'm able to go inside of this, part of my mind where I can find out how to build these rockets. And he was obviously, we had some of the schematics and stuff from the Nazis after the war as well, but that helped us. But yeah, no, I'm just saying that was part of the deal. That's what he was doing in his downtime, was doing rituals in the desert. And
yeah, but who cares? We got to benefit from his labor wherever he got the information. He could have got it from a moose. He could have got it from a talking donkey, and we're still benefiting from his labors. Like I think I've said this before, but a while back I learned that the creator of our first submarine was a Mormon. So in his downtime, he was doing secret handshakes and all this stuff. That's cool for whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're going to do whatever they do, and everybody's going to do what they do on their down. Like me and Host have talked about those human pups that the people in England, the UK, popularized. It was born in the UK. Now it's coming over to the US, I guess. But some of those are doctors. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are mechanics, like of all walks of life. But in their downtime,
might be presidents. We don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you never know what people are doing in their downtime, and honestly, nobody really cares as long as they're getting the work done.
Well,
make sure you wash your hands first. But
when you know that all this technology has come to a point where Host talks about a lot. Like, they don't want you to really have any sort of sovereignty. It's almost like they're trying to tell you that you're just this bag of flesh walking around. It's like, we're doing all this work, but it seems like we're probably more than that. You kind of talk about that all the time, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it sounds fun, sounds great and all, when you can understand, and it's like maybe it's a natural instinct that some people have, or I don't know, maybe it's something that one day a lot of, like, maybe, like you were saying, a lot of people just don't care. I mean, maybe you don't care until it becomes something very personal, or happens to your kid, or maybe you're just like, well, I'll just have 10 more, it's fine, whatever your mindset is there. But
Well,
like, it shouldn't have to be
I
that
recently
way.
watched a video of a guy trying to
Right.
disprove the moon landing because the people who were designing the first rockets and rocket technology, literally rocket science, they were heavily into the occult. And he was saying that this is proof somehow that we didn't go to the moon or something because we got the information from the other side. So that, therefore, it's like, but who cares? If we went to the moon, it means nothing. Who cares how they got the information?
Right. No, I
That's how
get
I
what
feel
you're
about
saying
flat
there.
Earth.
That's
Well,
dumb. I think
that's
we
a
went
good
to the moon.
That's a
But-
good point. I mean, what if someone who is completely evil? I mean, like they ate babies, but they came up with a cure for cancer. Basically, eradicated cancer.
Get out of here.
Like, do we not
well,
accept that cure because the guy is completely and utterly evil?
That's the Faustian bargain, by the way. What you're mentioning is the Faustian bargain. Oh, I'll sell my soul and eat a baby, but
Well,
hopefully it's outweighed when I make this cure for cancer.
well, I wasn't saying that. I was saying, what if a person was
Oh.
truly evil? I mean, they're not making bargains with the
Oh.
devil; they practically are the devil. But
Right.
but if they create something that truly, helps mankind.
And they
Yeah,
say
it's
they
sort of
got
what-
that
that's
information
true.
from the devil
I mean,
himself. Like, yeah, the devil gave me the cure for cancer. Now here it
Yeah.
is. Like, are you going to take it or
Bill
not? It's
Gates
like, well,
created
I
the
mean,
computer.
Right.
I mean, Bill Gates created the computer or the internet or whatever, but yet he still has a globalist agenda where he talks about it on video about how the Earth is getting too populated, and so they're designing vaccines to reduce the population. So it's like,
And he rocks back and forth like Hitler. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
maybe he's rocking out.
He's rocking out like Hitler. Yeah, dude. I've seen videos of older videos of Bill Gates sitting there
Well,
rocking
Michael
back
J.
and
Fox
forth.
does the same thing, but
Right. Maybe it's in the mind of the intellect. Maybe that's just what they do. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but so
Well, they are very intelligent. You just got to admit, these people are very smart and intelligent. They are. Once they you give someone enough money and enough power, and if they're smart enough, they can outwit you pretty good. But
I only partially agree with you, and I'll say this: I have known it in my experience that there are sometimes smart people who know how to manipulate other people who are smarter. The person, and I've heard a lot about Elon Musk
Jeffrey
doing
Epstein.
this. He was smart enough to know what projects to back. He was smart enough to manipulate people, which is where he got where he went. It wasn't they were coming out of his mind. He was just
Right.
finding the people that were smart enough to come up with this. And I think a lot of times we see that. We see people they're just good manipulators. They're not necessarily smart. They're not coming up with the ideas themselves. They're just using other people that are coming up with the ideas.
I think
No.
that's a difficult issue is that people think, intellect itself is a multifaceted thing. All real IQ or intellect is the speed of something. And so, yeah, I mean, you could be a good manipulator and you're highly intelligent because you're able to have speed at recognizing other people's weaknesses and coming up with a solution that seems very plausible to the other individual. It's still very intellectual. You're just using it in a way that's malice. But, Howland's razor usually tells us, don't attribute to malice what can easily be attributed to stupidity. So... a lot of times we think people are evil, but really they're just stupid.
you said that was Malon's razor?
Howland's razor.
Everybody's got razors.
Yeah, razors are just those quick, like
I
you
like
like those
Gillette's
silver
razor,
bullets.
but,
Like
so it's
Occam's
like
razor.
this is basically another word for a bumper sticker.
Well, it's like Occam's razor.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody's got.
Yeah, but these are these folks. But yeah, that's what I think. A lot of times we think people are just evil or bad. A lot of times people are just ignorant. Like when somebody's trying to run you off the side of the road, you may think like this guy's trying to cut me off. He's trying to hurt me or something. He's probably just oblivious. He's doing his thing, probably eating a cheeseburger or something. But we attribute to malice the things that are usually just ignorance.
like the Indian guy who was driving his semi truck and cooking a meal. He was just hungry.
But that ended very, very sadly.
Oh, did it? I don't even know. Somebody died in that incident?
Oh, man, that was ugly. Yeah, the dude, he tried to make a
Total
U-turn.
destination, huh?
He tried to make a U-turn with a tractor trailer in a major highway, and I think at least one vehicle, which had several people, and it slammed into it at full speed because he was illegally making a U-turn, and the people were killed.
Yeah,
And
but
he was
even
cooking?
But even that's a good example. He probably isn't doing that on purpose. That was just an ignorance, or he wasn't a trained driver or something.
It was a boneheaded maneuver, basically.
Right. But
not
it
like
wasn't
he was
like,
trying to
it's
kill
not
those
like he's
7
trying to
people.
go
He
out
was
there and say,
irresponsible,
I'm just
but
going to slaughter people today.
Well, unless those 7 people actually just discovered the cure for cancer, then now it's a
I mean,
different story. It's like, well,
just
what
had
was
a
the real?
sick sense of humor. Could have just had a sick sense of humor, you know. He probably had a passenger and was like, "Hey, check this out. Put your seatbelt on."
No, he was recording live. I think he was live streaming when that happened.
Maybe he just wanted to get
pretty
them
sure.
views and get monetized.
Well,
you know?
I think some of those guys, when they're driving these trucks, have to record as they're driving. The company has a camera in the truck, and that may have been the case. What happened, I don't know. But
I just always try to.
drive? Is that
I
illegal
just-
to cook and drive? I've never looked that up.
Well, I'm sure it is. But I just try to remind people.
doing anything other than focusing on the road is illegal. Yes.
You can't text and drive, but yeah, you can set up your George Foreman.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow.
I just try to remind people it's too easy to think somebody else is out to hurt you. And there are people who are like that. But the most of us are just living life, and we're not trying to be malice. But
We're
we
oblivious.
attribute,
Yeah, we're just oblivious.
Yeah, we attribute everything like that, and then that snowball effects start thinking everybody's out to hurt us, and then everything turns into this big nightmare. When a lot of it is just, we're just ignorant, we're just not paying attention. We're not. Most of us aren't here just trying to be massacre. We ain't trying to do the February massacre out here.
So what you're saying is trust but verify.
Right.
Yeah, at some point you have to, because you don't want to be on the other side of the coin, because when you're too afraid, you will become malice.
So you have to. So basically, you verify by you roll up next to him, you roll down your window, you say, "What's up, bro? Do you have a problem?" Or
no, you just project yourself. I mean, unless you're a malice person.
Bro?
Yeah. Do you want to have a smoke? And you invite them. It's like you invite them. You ask them, "Do you want to smoke?" And if they say yes, then you offer them a cigarette and a lighter at the same time.
I see people try to do all kinds of stupid things all the time, either on forums or in real life. And a lot of times I believe that they have an intention that they want to try to contribute to something, but they don't either see the perspective, they're misunderstanding something. And it's easy for me to start saying, see, these guys are premeditating something. They're trying to trick me. But really, a lot of times it might not be that way.
He does different kinds of things like that. In one series, he goes into all these really bad neighborhoods, and he finds the most gangster looking dude he can. He's like, "What's up, homie? You want beef?" Dude's like, "What? What you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, you want beef, bro, or what?" He's like, "What you mean you want beef?" He says, "Come get it then. Let's get beef." And he starts getting ready to fight, and dude gets ready to get down, and then he pulls his sweater open, and he's got this big old 2-pound thing of hamburger. He's like, "I got ground beef, dude. If you need it, it's $5 a pound." And da da da. He almost gets stomped out in a couple of them, but.
Well, I would say that's a malice intent. You're feeding on somebody's impression, and then you're trying to feed on their emotion, and you're triggering that. That's a malice intent, and you probably deserve what you get.
A couple of years ago. It seems like Elder wants to say something.
The only thing I'll end is
it's
that
all for clicks, man. But good.
I was just going to end what I was going to say with, I'm not saying that applies to the exclusive groups. Of course, the more exclusive you are in a premeditated state. Like if you're in a secret club, or if you're, let's say, the powerful people, the more exclusive something gets, I don't believe it's ignorance. I don't believe it's stupidity. I believe it's premeditated. But for the average person, the more you start projecting what you should project up here down to the average person, you'll start living in a fear chamber, and you'll start thinking everybody's out here to get you. When the reality is most of us are just ignorant about a lot of things.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I actually stopped thinking like what you're saying, that, people are cutting me off in traffic or do whatever. So I actually dropped a lot of weight of, road rage and getting upset with people. And it was because there's this weird thing. Like, you actually get to release all that once you realize they're not doing, it's nothing personal. They're just trying to get to work. They're just trying to get to, soccer moms are trying to go pick up their kids from soccer practice. Everybody's got somewhere to be. And it's stupid if I'm getting mad at them. They don't even see me getting mad if I'm flipping them off or if I'm cussing them out or whatever. They don't even see me. So it's all just on me. They don't even know what they just did. And at the same time,
that's some good wisdom, because my wife is telling me that all the time.
Yeah. Now, if you see them though pull up to a Mason lodge, like what Host was saying, then they're doing this on purpose.
Well, at least they're influenced, because it's a lot of times, the people who are working with the elites, like there's a bunch of think tanks, and I would say some of them are there legitimate, like researchers. They're researching something. I don't think they have a malice intent. They're just tasked with something. They don't know there's a bigger collusion going on. They're a part of this big thing. All they're told is this little piece of information, and they're doing their job. But in retrospect, there are people who are really controlling all this stuff, and these are the people who are having malice intent. But I can't attribute everybody, like guilt by association. I think that's a bad thing to do, because you just might ignorantly just be involved in something, and you don't know how deep that layer goes.
I will say there is sometimes people will purposely, like they will, then it's personal at that point. Like, they won't let you into a lane, and they'll slow down. When you slow down, they'll speed up when you speed up, and you got to get in that lane really fast. There's those people. They know exactly what they're doing. But that's like so small, so far and few.
I would say like 95% of the people are what Host was saying. It's just accidental if they're not really paying attention. But I think there is that 5% that they are driving like idiots purposely. Like when people are weaving in and out very quickly and very dangerously, like they know they're driving crazy. I mean, but anyway, I agree.
Yeah, like when somebody's doing 20 in a 35, you're like, what are you doing, man? Like,
no, that's dangerous too.
Well, the only reason why I say all that is because I talk in these forums where there's a lot of deep-tied people and intelligent people and professors or whatever. Listening to them, I know they're not thinking about this malice intent. They got a job. They're doing something. And they think this is groundbreaking. They're doing something, right? And it's legitimate. But in the back of my mind, if I'm not careful, I'll start thinking, oh, they know something. They're hiding something. They're trying to project this idea. They want us to believe something. But I have to always remember that that's probably not true at all. They are just doing a job. They're excited about whatever they're doing. And that's legitimate. There's no real malice intent. But if I get too deep, and that's why I was bringing up the whole thing with conspiracies and reality, if I go too deep, then I start projecting this on the people who have no malice intent whatsoever. And now it becomes a little dangerous, because then I live in this fear echo chamber.
Yeah. And my mom, when she was working for the CIA, she actually told me one day that when you're driving behind someone, you're tailgating somebody, really riding them. She said,
there it is. I'm telling you. And these jokers aren't afraid either.
Be gone.
Them globalists ain't afraid, bro.
She said, the thought came across her mind, what if that was one of my kids? Would I be doing that way? Doing it? Would I be riding them that hard? Yeah. And I was like... and I was like, I mean, it makes sense. And so now what I think of is people I care about when I'm driving, and I'm riding a lot of people's butts because they're going 20 into 35 or 15 into 35, like what Jeremy was saying. It's like, man, what if not only was that one of my kids, but somebody else I care about? What if that was my wife and she was having a medical episode? Am I really now going to be riding her that hard?
Well, then I think she'd want to be driving a little faster.
Well, it depends. Because a lot of times, it's funny, coincidentally, when you finally get to pass one of those people driving a lot slower, you see it's like this 95-year-old man, like, clenching the steering wheel, barely
see over the dash.
Yeah. It's like, you need to put that guy in the home. But take his license. He needs to be thrown in jail, and he needs to have the worst things done to him.
Don't even give him a sit-down scooter.
Yeah, I wouldn't even give him a phone call. I wouldn't give him his one phone call. Wouldn't give him a lawyer.
Give him a birthday card.
Yeah, I hope that when he opens his mailbox every day, there's no mail in there.
Teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I got to watch myself around colleague.
Well, you're not 95, so you better be 135.
Yeah, but
in a 35, of course.
Well, anyways, we're gonna have to wrap it up. You guys want to leave out with anything?
Yeah. I was going to say now. By the way, for the record, now supposedly the lower level, 33 degrees and under. Most of those Freemason guys are doing fundraisers, charities, and actually going out in the communities and helping. And I drive around my state and I'll see the Freemason symbol in a lot of towns. And it's just something that's very well connected. That's been a thing for a long time. It's when you get ahead of the 33 degree and you're a certain level in general, then I think you're probably initiated into something else, and who knows what that is, but it's called Rosicrucian. And whatever that level is very secret. And that part, the Freemasons do mention that. The people who have been there for years mention, those are higher degree past it. It's just most people don't ever get to that point. But yeah, most of the guys they are good people. They just believe in doing good work, and that'll outweigh their bad. That's basically it. So that's what I want to leave out with. And thank you guys for
Aren't they called the Shriners or something?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
that's another Freemason type organization, and those guys all they're really doing is just helping cancer and
I think a lot of medical charity.
I think it's just a healthy mentality. Just remember, most people are not to get you. There are people who are controlling things, and they're probably doing something malicious. But just be careful not to project that to everybody, because that's probably not the reality. I'm probably talking to myself as well.
Yeah, like raise your hand if you're a 33rd degree Mason in the room, and keep them up. I saw Jeremy just raise his hand.
I never got
bowed to the eye.
But
we are at time. I'm starting to know something else.
Going on that. You guys want to finish up with say something, Ted and Jeremy?
I just want to say, if you guys want to smoke, we could take a cigarette break. That's about it.
Okay. I like that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, the only thing I like smoked is meats. So I gotta
risk it.
Shout out to smoked meat.
That's good. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys' time coming on. It's always been fun. It's always a good time. Tune in this Saturday. I think you guys will like it. It's episode 191, HOS, Human Operating System, Biopolitical Convergence. I think you guys will have a great time with that. But as always, and if I seem a little down or slow or something, which I probably always do, I'm probably a little bit more sleep deprived than normal than even normal. So, yeah, I'm not.
I don't know, man. It was a pretty good contest this week.
Yeah. Well, anyways, just
smoking some crack. That would help.
Nah, I'll pass. The trap house and keep it. But
no, I do got something I want to share.
Go ahead.
Now that you mentioned being awake, I'm walking home yesterday, and I find this. Where'd it go? I didn't even know this existed, but apparently you can buy over-the-counter Adderall, and it's over-the-counter Adderall.
You know what's interesting is that you bought it.
Adderall.
750 milligrams, 2 capsules.
Yeah, but you bought it.
Sell those? I don't know, but I had to pick it up just to be like,
wow. That's what I was saying.
I think he said he found it. You said you found that?
It was just sitting on the side of the road when I was walking.
That's usually where those are sitting.
I've never seen that at a gas station.
It hasn't even been open. That's great.
Oh,
it hasn't even had any rain or weather on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
That's good. Well, test it out and tell us how it goes.
Seems like you're a very blessed man.
I don't know where to buy them. So,
like those black pills.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you guys next Thursday.
Later.
I'll see you guys on next Thursday.
This channel.
I know. And tune in this Saturday. I think you guys will enjoy it. But until next time, that's Colleague. I'm host. And this has been the Matrix Next Network.
Next work.
We're out of here.
Until next time.
Yeah. Wow.